and Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning.
Good afternoon and welcome to Saturday afternoon footy. I'm not sure there's a better place, Robert Walls, to be in Australia right now than at the MCG. Looking forward to a massive game between Geelong and Collingwood.
Oh, Anthony, this is one that we've all looked forward to. Geelong's playing the best football that I've seen them play for many, many years, heading for their 10th win in a row if they can get over the Magpies. And this young Collingwood team, coached by Mick Malthouse, they are exciting. They play for each other, and there's some of the best young talent in Australia wearing the black and white.
We're looking forward to it. The Cats, no change actually on either side. Let's start by looking at the Geelong lineup. As you said, they're going for 10 in a row. They're missing Nathan Ablett. Gary Ablett, there's been a little bit of doubt on him, but he's in and playing. What do you reckon of the lineup there?
Well, it's a terrific lineup. Scarlett at fullback, one of the best fullbacks. Egan at centre halfback is one of the most improved players in the last 12 months. Bartel was a Brownlow medalist favourite at some stage this year. Mooney's the captain of the forward line. And, of course, Ottens can play full forward or in the ruck. They've got talent right down the middle.
Well, so are the Magpies and some young talent. We know their defence has been undermanned this year. O'Brien back last week along with Wakeland and young Goldsack. They're doing a great job batting well above their average.
Well, they are, and Rocker will be really pleased to be back in this team. He missed a couple of games through suspension. He's important to them. Travis Cloak, a terrific young player at centre half forward. He's just thrived since Chris Tarrant has left the club. And, of course, Didac dangerous on that half forward.
Who are you tipping, Walsing?
I'm going for Geelong, Hutto. They've won 9 in a row. They're playing great football. They've only been here for the second time this year at the MCG. They'll want to win here so they can set themselves for September.
Let's go to the opening bounce.
It certainly is a fantastic opportunity this afternoon for both clubs to really stamp their authority on the competition. Currently 13 degrees, about a shower or two expected this afternoon. And Anthony Rocker, well, back after 2 weeks suspension in the game against the Sydney Swans. And Mark Thompson, well, can he do it? 10 games in a row. What an achievement it would be. The first time since 1966 that Geelong could achieve it. They did it between round 9 and 18. Alan Didac, last year's best and fairest winner, has been in pretty good form over the last couple of weeks. He'll be a key player. And there's the matchup. Scarlett on Rocker will be one of the features of this game this afternoon. Brad Ottens at full forward. Shane Wakeland to take him. And we're almost in readiness here. Conditions absolutely perfect at the moment. Medhurst and Enright, that'll be a great matchup. But we're underway. The MCG, Collingwood versus Geelong. Blake gets it down. A chance for Ablett. Didac tried to soccer it through. Push in the back, I thought, to Ablett. No free kick. Well done by Mackie. Just hacks it out of the congestion. Chance for Swan. He's had an outstanding few weeks. Dane Swan, ball held to him. And the umpire will bounce on centre wing.
Egan, of course, picking up Travis Cloak, and Scarlett has Anthony Rocker.
Blake again. Bartel, quick kick out of the pack, dribbling towards half forward, going back. Well done by Goldsack, showed plenty of courage. Shaw got it somehow to Johnson. Game 150 for Ben Johnson this afternoon, off to Lucuria, and he kicks it short. It's okay. The mark's taken by Fraser on centre wing. Lead up, it is okay. The mark taken by Didac. Intent on play on now, he's slipped over. Umpire calls play on, so forced to kick in the end off a step towards half forward. And the only player there is the Geelong captain, Tom Harley. Off to Enright. He's got runners to his right. One of them Scarlett. Scarlett with the job on Anthony Rocker this afternoon. Directing traffic as he goes. Took a bounce just in time, I reckon, from the wing. Drives it towards half forward. Wakeland leads Ottens to the footy. Shane Wakeland, a great game last week. Tries to keep it in and dribbles over. What's the umpire going to do here? Umpire Roseberry says throw it in. And a boundary throw, just the attacking side of the wing.
And common sense prevailed there. And Selwood, just a little bit of a thump down, and have a look at that right arm. Cop that.
Well done by Blake, gets it out again. Ben Johnson overruns it. Wojcinski, tight, hard contested football at the moment. Milburn got it from Bartel, thumps it inside attacking 50. Well done Hawkins, knocks it to the back. Chance for Ablett. Isles with the job on him early doors. Chance for Ablett. Oh gee, he got it off in the end of Chapman. Well tackled. by Isles. Good pressure from Collingwood. Deep in their attack, kick forward towards the top of the goal square. Lockie did well. Now Goldsack in trouble, somehow got it to Lucuria. And Lockyer in the end does cleverly to kick around the body to Fraser at half back.
Good result for Collingwood there, that's for sure. Fraser surging. Not a bad kick, but he certainly put the job ahead of Cloak. Didak swooping as he always does. For Thomas, we'll get an early indication of whether he's on or not.
See, they took that ball out of defence well, the Magpies. A couple of times there, Ablett had it, he was pressured into error, and then it went to Chapman, he was pressured into error, and then they were able to sweep it away, the Pies.
Ling with the job on Swan, just at the back of this contest. Fraser getting it down. O'Brien and Milburn.
Tom Harley playing on Thomas. That's an interesting one. You'd think Thomas might be a bit agile for him.
The Geelong defence generally, Rob, is very tall, so a couple of smaller faults on the Collingwood side. It'll be interesting to see how they handle it.
Mackie and Didak one to watch as well. There's Bartel being a ruckman. Clever stuff from O'Brien. Penalty offline and well judged by Mackie.
Mackie would be happy to get a touch because Didak's beaten him a couple of times. It's come their way.
Off to Enright. Right up the corridor, but a good mark taken by Ben Johnson. Started well, very well last week against the Saints. A bit quieter in the second half, but be looking to do well in game 150. Off to Cloak, who loads up from outside 50. Travis Cloak kicks the opening goal. Well, he might have turned over a new leaf, Rob. He kicked 2 goals straight last week, Travis Cloak, against the Saints, and a great long goal there.
That's just a pretty poor kick out by Enright. And Ben Johnson, he sees Cloak to his side. He knows the distance is too far for him. The beauty here is that Travis Cloak is able to take that mark and then just get 3 or 4 nice steps to balance himself before he unloads.
And Wolsey, I wonder, they've moved Gary Ablett out of the midfield forward straight away in this match. I wonder if they're going to nurse him with all those concerns about the flu running around this week.
May well, Andy, may well. They've gone with a tall forward line, the Cats. Ottens is down there in the goal square with Hawkins.
Which means, of course, that Blake is doing the ruck work, and he's been probably their #1 tap ruckman this year, the Cats, which is great job from him. Now, Selwood and Ling combining. Here's Hawkins with a struggle down there with Maxwell. He's certainly got the size. Just can't find a way through. Short with the head down. Helping it forward, Lockyer. Only as far as Wojcinski. This is where the Geelong run and dash has come from this year. But a fumble. Just got a little ahead of himself there. And this tight, compact Magpie defence sorted out again. And Lockyer, who's had a wonderful season, adjusts the kick for Rocker. And it got through to Lucuria, who was in good touch last week. Pendlebury getting an early feel for the footy. We know Fraser covers a lot of territory.
He's been dangerous, Fraser. This is where it's letting the Cats down. Fraser too agile for Blake in midfield.
Kicks it wide, Medhurst, yes. What's the umpire going to do? Good body work by Paul Medhurst. We've seen a couple of those paid in recent weeks against the offender, but that was seemed okay by umpire McBurney. So Paul Medhurst with an opportunity.
Just a little bit of early body work. Strong body. He's a compact player. He did that really well.
It was a great kick from Fraser too, Rob. Kicked it to his advantage and gave Medhurst every possible chance. So from 40 metres, a chance for Collingwood second. Medhurst drags it back, but it comes back beautifully. Collingwood have an early couple of goals at the MCG. So a good start, Rob, by the Magpies.
Good start by the Magpies, Chriso, and it's a good start because the Magpies are the most inaccurate team as far as kicking goals in the competition. Well, they've had 2 chances and they put both of them through from 45-degree angles. Just a lovely bit of body work there by Medhurst to set up that mark. And there's a shot of 150 gamer Cameron Ling. He gets a tagging job every week. That's his opponent this week, Dane Swan. And Swan gets plenty of the ball for the Magpies, so a big task for Ling.
Corey, who's certainly a major member of the Geelong engine room, and Ling has got a big job. Pendlebury, kept the hands clear for Cloak, who rides it beautifully. Great awareness for Ben Johnson. Now, Lucuria. Pendlebury's got loose inside the 50. The rest of the bases are covered. You can see Pendlebury with the size advantage on Gary Ablett. And another shot for goal coming up for the Magpies.
Terrific bit of body work again. And this Collingwood team, they know how to set up in their forward line. Number 2 in the competition for marks inside 50. Nice little bit of body work. Gary Ablett thought his mate would come and assist. He didn't. And a lesson there, do the job yourself.
Yeah, you can't rely on your teammate.
And he's kicked 12-5 for the year, 5-3 from set shots. So one of the more accurate Magpies for the season. Behind. Both he and Joel Selwood are the 2 favourites too for the Rising Star this year. Both out there today, of course.
A tall for a small down here, Wolsey. Blake's come off and Stokes has come on for the Cats.
Yeah, I reckon they were top heavy with that forward setup of Hawkins and Ottens. They need to get Ottens into the ruck.
Enright long to half back, and the mark again to Medhurst. He wheels onto the right boot, pumps it straight back to the goal square, but it was a poor option because Scarlett was all by himself and he marks comfortably. Chips it wide to Ottens, now on the ball with Blake going off the ground, off to Ablett. Good pressure from Fraser. Kick to a vacant wing position. Chance here for the Cats, picked up by Steve Johnson. What an outstanding year he's had since coming into this Geelong side. Mooney and Shaw. Shaw keeps it in. Don't know whether that was so wise because he tried to get the handball back to O'Brien. Spills to Mooney deep in the pocket. Kicks it, goal, and kicks it. Oh, no, he hit the post. Just about to say it, Hutto. It would have been one of the great goals, but he just slid off the right and hit the right behind post. So the margin 12 points.
His teammate Darren Milburn wasn't that impressed. He was looking for a short pass.
Number 6 possession for Paul Licuria. The veteran started this game really well. His finals experience will hold him in good stead today.
It's a massive occasion for the Cats. You just wonder if they're experiencing a little bit of stage fright right now. Selwood out wide. And I'll get a good feel for the footy here. Enright been a wonderful player for them this year. And Steve Johnson.
Yeah, this isn't bad, Hutto. Just bringing each other into it with a few short passes.
Off the left. Didn't really kick to the advantage of Hawkins. Wakelin. And Lockyer. Fraser. And again, the Magpies out of trouble.
Been good, Josh Fraser, just getting plenty of the ball. He's too quick for Blake and Ottens in a round-the-ground play. They should be able to beat him in the ruck contest, but he knows he's got to cover plenty of ground and get around about the 20 touches for the game. He's heading well and truly on that path.
Yeah, he was fantastic last week. 20 disposals, one of the best on the ground against the Saints. Josh Fraser, Lockyer now, called to play on. Not too much to go to. O'Brien's got to provide a contest. What's the umpire going to do here? It's a Geelong free kick. Hands in the back, I suspect. Now Ablett forced a handball. Scarlett from centre wing drives it towards Chapman. Couldn't take the mark. Finds it at ground level. Got support. Stokes off to Bartel. Little chip over the top. It's okay. And Ling slides and marks low down 30 metres from goal. And this should be Geelong's first goal of the afternoon.
The skills of Bartel on the left foot to set up the short pass. But what about the effort of Chapman? The pass was to Chapman. It was a bad kick. Chapman then put the fist on the footy and was able to get the ball at ground level. His recovery was sensational. Quick handball to set this up.
Cameron Ling has kicked 13 goals straight from set shots. Has not missed, Cameron Ling, from straight in front, and he doesn't let us down. He kicks goal number 14 from a set shot. Geelong have their first. And the Cats worked it out pretty well, Rob. And good run again from Scarlett from defence. Well, and Anthony Rocker's going to have to watch that, but as you say, great work from Chapman.
Absolutely. Chapman, he's a terrific play. You get players like Bartel, Chapman and Gary Ablett. They're very good at ground level. They're handy in the air. And their fitness has gone to a new level this season. And as you mentioned, Ling, the most accurate kick in the game at the moment.
Well, that will settle a few Geelong butterflies, you would think. Cameron Ling been a prolific goal kicker for the Cats this year. Margin back to the even goal. Otten's got the fingertips to it. Pendlebury. Chapman's had an influence in the last couple of minutes. And it was always going to be a bit of a lucky one as to where it landed. And it went well for Heath Shaw. Not perfect delivery there for Lockyer, but it gets the job done. Fraser again the target. And he marked the second bite over the line. What's the umpire going to say? Out of bounds.
Scotty Burns, the veteran, coming on, who's been in sensational form this year for the Magpies, particularly at the stoppages. In and under, he's as good as anybody.
Over the top, Maxwell. He's their #1 man at doing that, the third man up. Cloak, an imposing figure when he's charging down the ground. You got the feeling that the Geelong players thought that as well. Wojcinski, Egan, back to the middle. Johnson, clever tap on. Stokes was important at times last week. Maxwell grabbed him. Could have been holding the ball. Ottens, well done by Isles and Maxwell again. Important ball to be won. Ottens took a long time, but got the job done once more. Chapman and now Harley.
Harley back inside the corridor. It's okay. All Stokes hit by Thomas, but he got it back to Harley. Short to Ling. Ling now from centre wing. Cats looking better in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Good kick to the advantage of Steve Johnson. Intent on playing on as he always is. Drives it long to the goal square. Oh, he's got the sit here. Couldn't quite take the mark, Mooney. And Goldsack retrieves off to Burns. Burns in the back pocket. Wasn't a great kick. And good chance for Selwood, who was intelligently knocked it forward to Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson got the kick away despite the tackle from Shaw. It bounces goal. O'Brien now. A metre from the line. Cool in a crisis. Kicks it to Davis. And the Magpies here. And they set it up. Corey versus Lucuria. Corey in good position. He should be paid the mark. And is. No, it's paid to Lucuria. Oh, gee.
This is amazing. Lucuria and Corey.
He was man in front. He gets the mark. No.
He's given it to the man in front, the umpire said. This will be Lucuria's 7th touch. Corey just the 1. Lucuria just dominating this contest at the moment.
Gee, I thought Corey had the better of that, but Davis has got it now on centre wing, southern side. And Geelong have controlled the last 4 or 5 minutes. Mark taken by Chris Bryan. Started on the bench. Here's a thumping kick. Kicks to the true centre half forward position. Rocker at the back. Couldn't hold on. Chance for Wojcinski. Now Cloak at ground level. Trying to shovel it out. He's got it. He's tackled on top. And umpire Roseberry calls for it. We'll get a bounce at centre half forward for the Magpies.
Well, Mick Malthouse has taken Fraser out of the ruck. He's got Chris Bryan, the big fella formerly at Carlton. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep up the standard of Fraser, who was fantastic in the first 15 minutes of this game. And there's Fraser having a well-earned spell.
4 possessions so far. There's Chris Bryan. They have really made decisions every week. There's been a bit of Richards, a bit of Bryan, a bit of no one for the second ruckman. That might be holding the man.
Well, he can kick him. He's a good kicker of the football, is Bryan, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. Did wonders for his confidence. And I would suggest this would be the biggest crowd that he has ever played in front of.
Well, he's kicked 3-5. That was all on one day, I think, earlier this year. But the 3 goals were anyway. And as Wolsey said, the distance shouldn't be an issue for him here. Magpies, as they did last year in this game, making a very strong start. And that won't even worry the scorers.
So the free kick to Scarlett. Collingwood by a goal. Milburn back to Scarlett, who's running very hard in the early part of this match. Matthew Scarlett from half-back delivers short again. Effective. Selwood. Good run provided by Mackie from the centre wing. Drives it inside, attacking 50. Hall. Shaw in good position. Couldn't take it at the fall. Chance for Mooney from 30 metres. Oh, an awkward looking bounce. It doesn't come back to him. O'Brien applies the pressure, but Mooney kicks around the body and kicks a wonderful goal for Geelong. Gee, I thought he had mucked it up there for a moment. He tried the bounce, the ball didn't come back, but he was good enough to retrieve it and get onto the non-dominant side and kick a great goal.
All part of the act, Chris.
The surface down there, Hutto, we were there. It's very slippery, and if you're going to run and bounce the ball, you have to slam it into the turf so it comes back. And Cam Mooney getting that goal. But this is the danger for Collingwood. And it's Matthew Scarlett. That's the 5th possession that he's had playing at full back. Anthony Rocker hasn't touched the footy yet. And Scarlett is just running off him to set up attack after attack.
And scores now level. Blake Hoping for Bartel, but Burns, as Wolsey said, and O'Brien both great at getting it out of the middle. Oh, Rocker almost got a touch, but here's Scarlett again, wading through the pack. Just banged it and hoped, or maybe I'm underselling him.
I reckon he saw Blake out the corner of the eye, Hunter.
Perfect kick. Mackie, long again. Mooney, will the sun be a problem this time? No, but Wakeland was. Stokes says thank you very much. Bit of chaos in the Collingwood defence there.
Yeah, and again, Scarlett, the dash out of defence, his confidence is sky high. I reckon he meant that kick out to Blake.
He did.
And the worry here for the Magpies is that the spoil didn't go forward. You cannot let the ball get over the back. It's got over the back, and Stokes able to take full advantage.
So Geelong have kicked the last 3 goals and lead by a goal. Matthew Scarlett, outstanding early stages. Anthony Rocker almost took the mark at centre half forward, but from there it was all Geelong. Here they go again. Bartel, the quick kick out of the centre. Maxwell couldn't control it. Mooney does well off the Varco. Now, what's going to happen here? The umpire has pulled out a free kick.
The sun's worrying the players because half the ground's in shade, the other's in sun. And whenever it gets kicked into Geelong's forward line, we've seen Mooney have trouble and then Maxwell.
So Maxwell off to Wakeland, who handballs to Shaw. Probing kick towards half forward. Thomas got to get it over the top. There's a loose player. Travis Cloak thought about giving it back to Thomas. Then loads up, kicks it short. Anthony Rocker over his head. Wasn't a great kick coming in. Medhurst tries to charge down, crash his way through Selwood. Couldn't. Now Chapman's well tackled by Cloak. And umpire McBurney calls for it.
Gee, how about that? Selwood didn't get out of the way. The sun in the eyes is worrying the players. There's Maxwell. It goes from shade into sun. He's lost it. And the same happened to Mooney just minutes before.
Rocker thumps it deeper, deep towards the pocket. Chance for Mackie. His little kick now. That was over the line. What's the umpire going to do here? He's called it for deliberate.
I don't know if he could have done much more.
Well, I think what gives players away these days, Rob, is with the little along the ground kick. I think that's a fair giveaway. Lockyer kicks it short, and this time Rocker, good hands in front of his face, is marked in the pocket. And will kick from about 30 metres, but as you can see, the angle acute, and it will require a good kick. And there's a little... There was no Geelong player in the immediate vicinity.
That is a dumb kick.
He kicked across the ground while we're looking at that replay, and not the best of kick you heard from Rob Walls.
Why wouldn't he have a shot for goal? He's 40 metres out. He's the full forward. He's got a pass given to him, and then he puts it to a 50-50 contest.
Medhurst up high. Burns, snap from the pocket. Missing to the near side. Margin back to 5 points in favour of the Cats.
And Anthony Rocker took the mark. You can see he's inside the 50, and he just puts it to the opposition ruckman. Not good play.
Cats bring it back through Harley against Thomas. Ablett are always running, ready to receive. They love to involve him early because he always has a tag. Gets it deep, Stokes. He's done for height here, but he held his footing. Well, not able to take it. O'Brien's got problems. Mooney with a lunging tackle, not rewarded. And steadfast stuff by the Pies. Johnson also with issues here. He didn't really... Well, the umpire said he didn't have prior opportunity, obviously. The faces of the fans today. Here's the O'Brien one. He was
He's a bit lucky, I think, there.
Back in the 50, and Leon Davis doing a lot of work up the ground today. Varco, we know, is the main tackler inside 50 for Geelong. Johnson, Ling, gone deep where he can be a marking problem. It's not over for the Pies yet. Enright kicked 2 last week, so he's in goal kicking form.
That was the good work in defence, but kick wasn't great. And Corey Enright was a class player. Geelong have kicked the last 4 in the game. Gary Ablett and Dale Thomas
Well, you see that Dale Thomas struggling to get near it. Harley's been pretty solid across the half-back line. Ling doing a very good job on Swan. Swan just the one disposal.
Harley 6 possessions, in fact.
Blake wins it out. Chance for Kelly. Tries to break through the Pendlebury tackle. Gets the handball towards Chapman. He fists it forward. Varco. Gee, they're looking impressive at the moment, Geelong. Out wide towards Corey. Burns. Was he taken high? No, he was pushed in the back.
Kicked the last 4 goals the Cats. You just get the feeling that they're starting to warm to the occasion.
You certainly do. Marty Clark, the Irishman. Long handball to Fraser back on the ground. Wasn't great handball. Fraser made it look good. Sweeps it back to Goldsack. Goldsack. Can he find a target? He kicks inside attacking 50 towards Cloak. Milburn cutting across his path. Well done, Hunt. Tapped to his own advantage, then sweeps the handball wide to Chapman. And here they go again, the Cats. Chapman wide towards Stokes. Ablett in support. Wheels onto the right boot. Hasn't got much to go to. Good pressure and good corralling by Nick Maxwell, but he finds a target out wide. It's Harley on the southern wing towards half forward. Stokes just getting in behind Heath Shaw and plays on. Good play, Matthew Stokes. Kicks it low and hard onto the chest of Hawkins. And they love Tommy Hawkins, the Cats fans. He's marked 40 metres from goal. Angle about 60 degrees. And not a dissimilar position to what Rocker was just a few moments ago at the other end, Rob.
Just saw Milburn there getting in front of Anthony Rocker. The Cat defence help each other all the time. And what we saw there was just the rapid play on. Once they get the ball across wing half forward, they will play on at every opportunity, the Cats.
Well, they started slowly. Collingwood kicked the first couple, but gee, they've been impressive. And Hawkins kicks for goal and just misses to the near side. Gee, it looked good for a long way. Margin back to an even 2 goals.
So Brian takes it, and the Magpies have brought Fraser back on Wolsey. While he was off, Geelong kicked 3 goals.
Yeah.
So that is obviously pretty significant, and the management of that issue will be a big one for the Pies.
Just shows how important it is. And the other thing, Ottens, who started the game at full forward, he spent the first 8 or 10 minutes there. He's now gone into the ruck, and he's had an effect as well.
Andrew, there's a Cat player going up the race, I saw.
Yeah, it's James Bartel. He's come off with the blood rule, Hutto. He should be fine.
Okay, well, remember he got the hit on the head a couple of weeks ago and was a little bit below standard, his normal standard last week. Gee, Kelly, full 360 treatment. Enright, oh, well placed for Joel Corey. And just get it inside 50 is the mantra. Oh, Stokes, he would have backed him to take that mark. Heath Shaw knew that he had to get rid of it. Corey likewise. Good pressure. The Magpies defence being tested at the moment. And there's Corey Enright having a slashing game. Up for Ablett, also getting plenty of it. His 7th possession for Stevie Johnson, who didn't mark it, wanted to just keep it moving. He had Milburn to help him out, and that proved valuable. Milburn delaying the hand pass and kicking instead. Oh, Varco, almost. At least kept it alive for Geelong. Enright, it's labour intensive, the build-up, but it might prove to be okay. Steve Johnson had to release quickly. Great closing speed by Pendlebury. Ablett. Ottens almost confronted here by 2 Pies. Now Hawkins over the top. Where's the ball? The umpire's got to work it out.
I think it's stuck under Ottens.
It's like those old spot the ball in the paper.
Have a look at this percentage play on after a mark. That is an amazing stat. 79% of the time the Cats are playing on to Collingwood's 27. Fast tempo football by Geelong.
Maxwell, third man up. Oh, he just got it through. Hawkins lurking on the goal line, but a rush behind for Geelong puts them 13 points in front.
It's the Bartel injury.
So kick comes into the back pocket to Maxwell. Collingwood under extreme pressure. Kick towards the wing. Milburn almost. Thomas out wide. Ben Johnson. The southern wing tries to bring it back to a central location. Wants Travis Cloak and finds him. So handball off to Thomas. Collingwood under pressure at the moment. Thomas kicks it wide. Clark, Milburn decisively punches towards the line. Didek though, clever. Feeds it back. Ben Johnson kicking a half from goal. Hard up against the line at half forward in space. Can he find a target inside attacking 50? Harley, spectacular leap, couldn't hold on. But Ling gets it to Kelly, off to Egan, and now Mackie, and they run it out of defence superbly. The Mackie kick wasn't great, it was partly smothered. Thomas drives it back in towards Didek. And that was great work from Enright. Got a fist in there.
They leave their own direct opponent, the Geelong defenders, to help out. And there's Harley getting back to help out. And we just saw Enright do the same thing. And there's Enright. Didak's not his opponent. They help each other at every opportunity. This is a team that plays for each other, Geelong.
Late in the quarter, so a bit of energy sap, but Geelong's handballing out of defence has been a feature. We know they handball a lot more than their opposition, and the Magpies, on the other hand, handball a lot less than their opposition and kick more than them. So it's a contrast in styles. This is Burns, Rocker and Cloak, the dual targets, looming large here, but not as large as Egan, who's able to mark it again, link up with Scarlett, and the run provided by Scarlett, as Wolsey said, has been important for Geelong as Kelly comes into the game.
Possession number 8 for Matthew Scarlett. Rockers had 1.
Back to Chapman. Chips it further afield. Wasn't a great kick. Puts Corey under pressure. Good tackle to Curia. Although Corey did very well to knock it to the advantage of Enright. Now O'Brien under pressure again. The tackling's been good from both sides. Cloak ricochets to Pendlebury. Handball towards Davis. Davis just inside 50. Kick towards a vacant goal square. Leon Davis bounces it through for a behind. Didn't have enough on it. As we tick down to the final seconds of the quarter, the margin back to 12 points.
Gee, that's a vital call on those short kick-ins, isn't it? We saw last week it caused a few goals in both the matches these two teams have played in, and it might claim another victim right now. O'Brien just offline. The umpire, I'm not saying that was wrong, Wolsey, at all, but the umpires have to get the distance right on those short kick-ins.
They do, and I would think that Mark Thompson, the Geelong coach, would be just happy for the siren to sound. It's only 20 seconds away, but they've just been a little bit scrappy with their kicks, Geelong, in the last minute or two.
Just a little nervous late in the quarter. As you said, they'd be well satisfied with the scoreboard as it stands, I think.
Yeah, just get them at quarter time, settle them down. Mick Malthouse probably has to make a move, I reckon, with Rocker. Just give him maybe even a run in the ruck, because Brian didn't do too much when he was there.
Well, that is quarter time, and Geelong lead by 11, Rob.
They lead by 11, Hutto. It was Collingwood who kicked the first 2 goals, and then Geelong got 4 goals in a row. And I thought the Magpies came back a little bit the last 5 or 6 minutes, but been a lot of sorting out.
Get connected with Harvey Norman and Telstra. Connect for 24 months on Telstra's Next G network with either of these hot phones and receive a bonus 2GB iPod Nano. Connect on the sharp and sexy Motor Razr V3 XX. Pay $0 up front on a $40 Telstra phone plan and get your bonus iPod Nano. Or connect on the new Palm Trio 750 smartphone. Pay $0 up front on an $80 Telstra phone plan and get a bonus iPod Nano. And remember, we can print your photos direct from your mobile phone. Now at Harvey Norman.
Personal investing is like fishing. You need to know where the best spots are. With a little insight from Macquarie Private Wealth, you're fishing in a far bigger pond. And Macquarie's research, rated #1 by Australia's leading fund managers, and its exclusive access to global opportunities, then you're definitely after the big fish. Have a chat with Macquarie Private Wealth. It'll be very rewarding.
With 245 kilowatts and all-wheel drive, the Ford Territory Turbo eats sports cars for breakfast. For more information, SMS Turbo to 134.
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain has carbos for energy, protein for muscle development, and calcium for bone strength. If you want to be your best, then beat your best. Remember, you only get out what you put in.
Sniff and stiff. That's a hard act to follow.
Could you teach me to play like Sniff and Stiff again?
Yeah, sure. Call Advanced Medical Institute and they can show you how.
1-800-311-311.
My wife basically told me one day, she says, if you spend so much time at Bunnings, why don't you go and get a job there? And guess what I did?
4-litre Dulux wash and wear, only $61.90. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Craft Tech Jumbo Toolbox, $69.94. Porcelain tiles, just $19.93 per square metre. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
People will be very surprised at the range that we have.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Friday the 13th was a nightmare for the Australians.
3-1 Australia fall behind. Utter despair.
All eyes on Monday night. In their biggest test so far, the Aussies are up against host nation Thailand live. Australia must win to have a hope of getting through, but the local heroes have other ideas and plenty in their locker. Australia take on Thailand for a place in the quarterfinals. 10:30 Monday night, live and exclusive, Fox Sports 2.
Almost quarterback style.
He was just terrific, Hutto. Well, he's a veteran, isn't he? He's been a great player for a long, long time, but he backs himself, and the quarterback, that's right, he's the one who gets it on that defensive 50, runs it out and sets up attacking plays. Backs himself, he often runs and carries and makes it a 70-metre play. By the time he has a run and a bounce and gets a 50-metre kick, the ball covers enormous ground. And he's done a sensational job on Anthony Rocker in this first quarter. It'll be interesting to see what Mick Malthouse does with Rocker in the second term.
And the crowds, a big day for Geelong, as you said. We don't know the figure yet, but will it push these home and away attendance records by Geelong? Back in '89, that was part of their run when they won 9 in a row last time. The Cats, 87,000 on a wet day. I think it was Queen's birthday Monday back in '89. Now let's go down and check in with Andrew Marr for the injury situation.
Yeah, Hutto, the only major concern for the Cats turned into a minor one with James Bartel. We saw the incident. He's copped a nick to the eye. There was some concern that he may have cut the eye, but he's, as you can see there, he's got the gash across the top. They took him down to the rooms. He's been in the wars in recent weeks, but he's starting the second quarter, taking up his customary place out in the midfield. He's right to go.
Thanks, Andrew. What a great look.
Who, Andy?
No, not James Bartel either. The Jimmy Bartel. The crowd here at the G.
Absolutely sensational, and it is so far a beautiful winter's day.
It is, and Anthony's going down to the goal square. Scarlett, his opponent. Medhurst has been on for the entirety up the other end of the ground. Hawkins, gee, when you get down at ground level and you just see how big he is awesome. And I think he'll be a player of the next decade.
Okay, second quarter, Cats by 11 points. Otten's down towards Ablett. He gets it somehow. Gary Ablett, disposal number 11, high towards half forward. Chapman a big leap, intent on spoiling. Chance for Corey, well tackled by Lucuria. He couldn't get it out. No.
Free kick.
Yeah, it's a Collingwood free kick. It'll come to Ben Johnson. And you heard umpire McBurney against Paul Chapman. So Ben Johnson from half back. Game number 150. Kick towards Shaw, who cleverly marks opposed to Stokes. Southern side. Collingwood need the early goal just to get back into this game. Didak, cross half back. Alan Didak. Long towards half forward. Davis in good position here. Couldn't quite hold on, but finds it at ground level. Wheels on the right boot in the end. Kicks towards Dane Swan, who's started this second term inside attacking 50s. Mark 45 from goal.
Don't underestimate what Leon Davis just did. There's a good matchup. But O'Brien playing at centre half back on Cam Mooney. And the run there. But Leon Davis on Gary Ablett. He just scooted away with his pace.
Swan from just inside 50. Lovely kick towards goal. It's just offline. One behind. So Collingwood now 2-5. They were 2 goals straight. So 5 behind since those opening 2 goals. The last of those coming at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter.
Good shot there. We saw the Geelong players going down the middle of the ground, and they'll look to lead out into the flanks. Here they go.
Corey does that. And Scarlett provides. Now, what about the next kick with the Maggies pretty much one-on-one? All bases covered except Wojcinski, boy, not 15. And he's in trouble. Josh Hunt back in the team this afternoon. Actually, career best average this year. Just can't get a game. Bartel for that Mooney. O'Brien struggling accommodating bounce for big Cam Mooney, and Johnson was clear, and he was colourblind by the kick there, Cam Mooney. I think he was trying to pass it to Goldsack.
Well, he could have had a shot. He would have been excused for having a shot, but he tried to do the team thing.
Didak beat Tottens on the ground. Tottens almost beat him in the air. Back towards Pendlebury, who lopes away from half back for the Magpies. Confronted by Selwood, but takes his time, measures the handball to O'Brien. Advantage caught. O'Brien kicks under pressure towards the 50. No advantage there, but the mark's taken by Wojcinski. Play on
that
to
was
Harley.
15.
Handball off to Bartel, who under pressure kicks cleverly. And with great poise finds Mackie on centre wing. Andrew Mackie very good in the opening quarter, coming in for his 9th disposal. Towards half forward, searching lead by Johnson, was pushed out, and in fact it was Mooney. Play on's the call. Tripped over, you heard the umpire say. Wakeland did superbly. Took the mark, finds Lockyer, kicks it short to Medhurst, who couldn't take it. Well done, good pressure coming from Harley. Medhurst appealed to umpire McBurney, but you heard the response. Yeah. Boundary throwing at half forward for Collingwood.
And young Thomas is on the interchange. You'd say Harley took the honours in the first quarter.
So, good early struggle in this second quarter. Cats not able to capitalise at the moment. Selwood, what a penetrating handball. Opens it up. Ling now, Wojcinski. Fleet of foot and plenty of depth. It's all set up for Stevie Johnson.
And Hutto, that's because Wojcinski backed himself. He could have just bombed away, but he was prepared to use his pace and sidestep an opponent. He's coming off the ground now, but that was just bold football.
And Stevie Johnson almost made a fool of the man on the mark, puts it through for a goal. And Shane Wakeland just going to Goldsack on the mark. Here's the run that you were talking about.
Well, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. Could have gone onto the left foot and kicked it 40 metres, but backed himself to get around an opponent and then kicked it 60. And in the end, Goldsack had no hope of getting a spoil on that. And there's a shot of Josh Hunt. Now, he's been a regular for Geelong over recent years, but has been out of the team for something like 8 or 9 weeks. Burly back pocket player with a penetrating left foot kick, so he'll know he's got to play well to keep his spot in this team.
Davis out of the centre towards half forward. Ling and Swan. Intriguing matchup this. Ling wins out this time. Loops the handball over the top to the run of Harley. O'Brien chasing hard, but Harley left foot towards half forward. Oh, well done by Hawkins. Pushed off Wakeland. And he's marked between wing and half forward. Kick towards Chapman. Well done, Pendlebury going back. He was brave and he did it well. Off to Shaw, back to Pendlebury. Collingwood kick it across the goal face and find Goldsack. Back to Pendlebury. Magpies just struggling to have an impact at the moment. That kick didn't go 15. Lucky to be paid. Ben Johnson from half back. Lead up from Swan. Wasn't a great kick. Swan needs support. Handball towards O'Brien. Chipping him, well done. Enright ties it up. And Geelong do well to force a ball up between wing and their left half forward position.
Well, they did do that, Chris. They forced the ball up. They pressured Collingwood. Collingwood's had the last 7 or 8 disposals and taken the ball forward 20 metres.
Here's O'Brien at the coalface for Ben Johnson in game 150. Took a while to assess what was on offer. Didn't like much of it and probably didn't make the right decision. Egan again for this Goldsack Johnson battle. And again, Johnson keeps his feet and just keeps it in, or does he? Well done, Goldsack, to keep the pressure on. Ablett, who we know's got great awareness. Pendlebury, Bartel, Cats freeing up, and Bartel's left misses. And again, it was Ken Mooney that time who thought he was free and perhaps could have got a handball over the top, but the margin is 17.
Well, Cam Mooney's the captain of the forward line, Hutto, so you don't want to upset the big cat.
Shane Wakeland to himself. He's got a long option, and it's a good kick. Finds O'Brien at half back, and Shane O'Brien can run. Wants Didak to come to him, and Harley read it pretty well.
That's just a terrible kick, isn't it? Their last 2 kicks going forward, one goes out of bounds, the other was intercepted by Egan. They haven't got any flow going at all, the Magpies.
Andrew Mackie takes a break after a very impressive quarter and a bit. So Fraser against Ottens. Fraser works to the front. Tries to get it to O'Brien. Finds him eventually. Lucuria, good hands in close to Pendlebury. Back to Davis, off a step, high to half forward. Sets Cloak a real task here. Egan did superbly. Play on's the call though. Scarlett's wrapped up by Cloak. What's the umpire going to do here? He says held to him. Bounce 35 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Egan looked at the umpire. The umpire said, you didn't control it.
I think Collingwood fans suggesting a bit of hand in the back. Bounce. And again, desperate stuff. This time from Corey. Tackle coming from Lucuria.
Chris, what would you think about Rocker being given a run in the ruck? The big fella's touched the ball once in about 40 minutes of play.
Well, he's missed 2 weeks of football. Rock needs to get involved, doesn't he? He's going to contest this ruck contest against Altons, but it's a good idea. Selwood's been superb. Well tackled by Rocker. Did he have prior opportunity? No, it was too high. Says umpire McBurney. So the free kick to Selwood at...
Joel Selwood is the star of the future. Tough and hard. His twin brothers are playing, one with West Coast and one with Brisbane. And there's a fourth on the way through, Hutto, from your old town, Bendigo. And they say he's better than all of them.
They always are, Millsy. In fact, they always say they are. It's going to be hard for the next one, I think, Scott Selwood to better what Joel's delivering for Geelong, or may deliver in the future. This is Chapman. And Mooney and O'Brien, he did though, hang on over the top. Free kick. Advantage? No.
Well, I was happy that O'Brien made him earn it.
Now, this is Varco. Again, Johnson is the target, as he seems to be the focus for Geelong going forward. But Goldsack wins the day this time. He had a bit of an indifferent week last week, got himself into a bit of trouble, and he didn't make Wakeland's job any easier. Or Clark. Cats swarming here. Wakeland used all his goal experience and took it over and out.
I think Shane Wakeland had enough at that stage and said, I'll just step over the line and have a breather. Gee, look at all the space, the goal side of this contest.
And Altons will try and get it there, but in doing so, he's given away the free, I think.
That's what the Cats wanted, that break into space.
It's coming back to Joel Corey. Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, they set up well there. They had space.
Ling calls for it, and can he get in front of Swan? He can, but just couldn't hang on for dear life as Johnson cleared the danger and got it to the boundary. Now, there was a Collingwood player there, so that'll be okay.
Tom Harley now has moved on to Alan Didak.
That was the last ruck infringement. It was paid to Corey, though, against Lucuria. Enright shoveled it almost towards Corey. Isles, well tackled. Chance for Hawkins. He brushes a couple of tackles in. Well tackled by Isles and is penalised. So just trying to take on one too many, Tom Hawkins. So Isles with the free kick off to Davis. At half back. Kick towards half forward. This hasn't been a great part of Collingwood's game today. And I'll tell you what, Cloak had to beat 5 players there and perhaps a little lucky to get the free kick. He was in amongst 5 Geelong players. He drives it long to the goal square. Rocker one out here with Scarlett. Ball to the back. Scarlett does very well. Gee, so dependable. Fists it clear. Lockie's got to beat a couple. 3 on 1, now 3 on 2. Johnson, wasn't great. Lockyer dribbles at goal and kicks a great goal. So one against the flow to the Magpies. They had their third, and Rob, they desperately needed that because apart from the early first 7 or 8 minutes of the match, they've been outplayed.
Steve Johnson, I think Steve Johnson's part. There he is. Watch Steve Johnson. He hit the deck. He gets the ball here. Has his handball smothered. Now Steve Johnson's playing in the forward line. I reckon Scarlett and Egan will say to him, if you come down here, son, don't muck it up like that.
More than half an hour since Collingwood have been able to score a goal. It was a welcome one for the Pies. It's back to 11.
Collingwood have got 7 players in their forward line. So they've really loaded up there. Cats have gone one-on-one with them.
Blake down, but O'Brien, Lucuria, now Clark. And maybe they got a bit more spring in the step. Cloak. Here's a path, an avenue to goal. So is Rocker. No, not for the second bite. Now Rocker's hurt. On the follow-through, Johnson quick to get it on the boot. Can the Cats sort this out? They can. Blake the dish, and Ling's got Stokes working for him outside defensive 50.
Great kick from Ling.
Numbers out wide.
Haven't they? Stokes chips it back inside towards Mackie, back on the ground off to Scarlett, continuing to run. He kicks wide. Corey's free. Good build up this from Geelong. He wanted to play on. Well done, Clark. He manned the mark aggressively, forced him to go back, but he chips inside attacking 50. Out comes Mooney, knocks it only as far as Lockie is. Kick finds Clark. So the Irishman from half-back kicks to O'Brien. Now there's a chance for the counter-attack here for the Magpies. O'Brien in plenty of space. Hasn't got much to go to. Good running from Clark.
Yeah, good follow-up running by the young man.
And he's got it between wing and half-forward. Marty Clark, left footer. Didak was a good kick. Didak plays on. Well done from 50. Driving kick goal. Burns at the back and he's marked. No. What's the umpire going to do? Push. Front on contact. So don't know that he needed to do that, Josh Hunt, because I think it might have been through for a behind. But he made the contact inside the field of play, according to umpire McBurney. So Burns with a free kick 1 metre from goal.
Good play by Didak. Instantaneous play on after he took the mark, put pressure on the Cat defence. Free kick given away.
So Burns, that's the equation. Does it very well. Kicks a goal for the Magpies. So a second goal in a couple of minutes to Collingwood, and the margin back to 5 points, and certainly in the last couple of minutes looked a little better.
Definitely a free kick. And he did this well, Scotty Burns. Just walked in and then cut out to open up the angle. Put the angle of the ball on the boot to hook it back. He knows what it's all about.
Could be a battle of attrition as the afternoon continues. Bomber Thompson knows that. Not going to be easy. The margin back to 5. The Magpies will have full head of steam just at the moment. Thomas back on the ground and back into the thick of the action.
And I think that's good, Hutto, to see Dale Thomas in the thick of the action. He started in the first quarter playing as a permanent forward, and he was controlled by Harley. This gives him a little bit of freedom to be in the middle of the ground.
Blake, good body work, but it's Burns and O'Brien. Oh, Chapman. Hawkins, poor no-look handball. Wakeland, that was good defensive pressure by the Geelong forwards, though. Meant there's more loft on the kick, but Isles, clean play. And look at Goldsack, certainly got some acceleration. Cloak again looks the man most likely to take it. Almost. Davis, Milburn, some hesitation. Gets his man eventually. Mackie and Scarlett sorted out for the Cats. Again, Scarlett, superb, opens it up. Selwood, he knew that he was hot, and he went to Steve Johnson. Far too laconic. What was he trying to do there? Blairising, and Geelong will pay the penalty. Varco, we know he sweats and loves to apply the tackle. Steve Johnson might be able to make amends yet. Bartel, Varco, and it's over and out.
I reckon Bomber Thompson, the Geelong coach, he'd be unhappy. He'd be unhappy with this by the young forward. It was just a look-away handball, not good enough. And then this casual, lazy approach to take a one-handed mark by Steve Johnson.
Fraser and Blake. Wakeland third man up to Didak. Spent a lot of time backward of the centre line today, Alan Didak. Kick wide towards Swan. Push out from Lings. Okay, good tackle by Swan, forcing it over. So that battle between Swan and Ling continues to entertain.
A couple of times we've seen Collingwood put the third player up in ruck contest to come over the top. They probably think that Blake and Ottens will have the advantage, so often we see a Collingwood player coming from the side or behind to jump over the two ruckmen.
Blake down towards Swan. Soccer forward, only as far as Mackie, though. It was just lingering at the back of the pack. Chips it short, wide. It's okay. Mark taken by Bartel. Again, they play on. This time, the kick smothered by Burns. Well played. Pendlebury. Maxwell forced to just assess. Kicks okay. Lucuria. Good give off to Didak. Oh, gee, don't know what he was doing there. Swan wobbles it around the corner. Cloak one out against Egan. Medhurst now, well done, shovels it somehow back to Cloak. Burns now, 55 from goal. Can he spot up a target? Forced a handball. Isles, back to Burns. Cloak will load up from 50. Travis Cloak, umpire does not move. Magpies in front at the G. Well, a comeback that has really come from nowhere, Rob, because Geelong look pretty much in cruise control, but the Magpies have kicked the last 3 goals of the match as we look at the Alan Didak attempted drop kick, and find themselves strangely in front.
Just terrific play by Scotty Burns there to set up Travis Cloak for a little bit of space to unload that big left foot of his. I do think that Geelong have flirted with their form a little bit. Bartel had his kick smothered. Johnson going for a one-handed mark. Tom Hawkins giving away a sloppy handball. You leave the door open to this Collingwood team, and they will come through.
Well, doesn't it just sum up the year of the Magpies so far? If you don't put them away, they'll keep on coming. Blake and Clark both committed to the cause. So too Selwood had to be and was clean. Chapman's been prominent. He's a very good player. And this is a big moment now for the Cats.
Yep.
He's never kicked a goal, Blake. And look, he's not even looking. He's going back confidently. There will be one almighty roar from the Geelong fans if he can kick a goal.
Steve Johnson almost said, give it to me, give it to me. But he just ignored him straight out.
Well, let's see whether he can kick the distance and the accuracy. The big bloke's improved as a ruckman, no doubt about that.
How are the butterflies in the tummy right now? Mark Blake, 5 behinds in his AFL career.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Terrible kick.
He's stubbed his foot. He's taken a divot.
Next time he'll handball.
I reckon next time he will handball.
Clark to Goldsack.
Just not good for the reputation of ruckman, and I love ruckman.
Wide. Oh, gee, I don't know about that. Wasn't a great kick at all. Straight to Chapman. No Collingwood player was within 15 metres of Paul Chapman, so the Cats can reload here. Chapman. Probing kick deep into the pocket. Oh, big leap from Mooney, but the Collingwood defence there in number. Yeah. Harry O'Brien, who's done a pretty good job so far.
I was just going to say, Rob, Mooney hasn't been the prominent force really in this game yet.
No, he hasn't. O'Brien sticking very close to him. I don't know why Chapman would kick it wide to the boundary line there.
O'Brien, well, put Fraser under the pump, but he got away with it. Burns, Lucuria, now Isles at half back for the Magpies. Back to Burns, good hard running. Wants to get a handball. Gee, mucks it up. Chapman a chance. Curia dives on the ball, needs to get it out, and does. And it's clawed back under by Chapman, so the umpire decides he'll bounce 60 metres from the Geelong goal at right half forward. Collingwood kicked the opening 2 goals of the match. Geelong kicked the next 5, but Collingwood have responded by kicking the last 3.
Cats in attack now. That's Corey. Selwood on the end of it. The young man plays the percentages. And was that high contact? No. Wojcinski bouncing up and finds a way through from the boundary line. Selwood again goes to percentages. Again, the big man there. Enright couldn't get it off to Varco cleanly. This Magpie defence, they are hard to keep down. Look at Davis. Hasn't he worked well at both ends of the ground today? Still a chance for the Cats if Mackie can spoil Pendlebury. But Pendlebury just about showed them a clean pair of heels. Sensational awareness from Pendlebury to get Lucuria. Johnson mown down, and eventually the Cats' relentless pressure resulted in a surge forward for Milburn. Will he keep going? He's within range now. There was a bit of a slapdash kick.
Oh, we've got a contest here. Hard to get a kick out in space. Tackling so hard, so tough. #1 tackling team in the competition is Geelong, and Collingwood not far behind them.
Good kick coming in from Heath Shaw to Wakeland, off a step. Kick, a little awkward one for Fraser. Has to break the Blake tackle and does. Goldsack back to Fraser. They did it reasonably well. The kick wasn't great though. Milburn gets around Cloak. Got a wall up at the moment across the midfield, the Cats. Hard to get through. Kick is effective. Corey sweeps it wide towards Ablett. Oh, well tackled. Ben Johnson somehow Ablett got boot the ball into a nest of Geelong players. Corey reloads as he handballs back towards Egan. Selwood has been fantastic. Wasn't a great kick. Mooney handball towards Varco. Slipped it superbly to Wojcinski. 45 from goal. Pulled off the kick. Coming to meet Clark at the back. It bounces through. And for a goal anyway to Geelong. Oh, great stuff, Wojcinski. Well, don't quite know how it happened, but somehow David Wojcinski has kicked a goal to put the Cats in front. There's the kick from Selwood. forward. Now look at this, brilliant stuff here from Varco, almost invisible give it was, and Wojcinski was able to bounce it over Clark and Stokes in turn, and had the right curve on the footy, and the Cats are 6 points in front.
Well, Martin Clark, the young Irishman, he will now know what a cruel bounce that ball can be. He did everything right, he got in front, he attacked the football, and it just kicked over his head.
Bit of an Irish bounce, wasn't it, really?
Oh, goodness me.
So the Cats back in front. Ottens, Chapman, Corey, Bartel. They fought their way through pretty well. Still it's a haphazard ball inside. 50. Clark. Again, Hawkins is sweating. O'Brien, Lucuria, Lockyer, Burns. And well worked by the Pies. A moment for a breath. And that's about all. Swan, who hasn't had a big impact today. 5 possessions. Ling with 8. Ling about to come back on the ground now. Lucuria. Clark's on for the switch of play, but Lucuria turns that down. And goes for Cloak instead, and he wanted to...
Strong hands.
Yep. Good contest, isn't it?
He's just improving as each week goes by, Travis Cloak.
That's his 4th mark.
Just a big flood on by the Cats. They've got numbers back. That's why Geelong, why Collingwood's just whipping it around the outside here.
So Shane Wakeland can intrude on the forward line here.
Done this well.
Yeah, they've crept forward. And O'Brien.
The next kick's the important one to get a mark inside 50.
Well, Davis was clear, but the ball had a lot of air on it, and that made the job pretty comfortable for both Enright and Milburn.
And Varco with the quick, slick handball. Let's have a look at it. I reckon it travelled all of 20 centimetres.
Gee, it was gold, wasn't it? So the Magpies in to attack. Ottens. Davis can't control it. Goldsack, what's he doing down there? Over the football, umpire says knock it out, and eventually calls for it. Bounce 45 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Varco's playing deep forward for Geelong. His opponent is Heath Shaw, and I'm sure part of the instructions for Varco is to take Heath Shaw out of the action.
Goldsack, 3rd man up. Chapman. Good tackle by Johnson, but he got the handball off to Mackie, who shrugged the Davis tackle, gives it back to Scarlett. Little kick around the body is effective. Milburn, who just waited back at half-back. Darren Milburn. Another outstanding year. Corey, stalked by Lucuria, was able to get the kick away to the wing position. Well, good running from Egan from half-back. He's got support, or has he? Now he turns and kicks towards half-forward. Stokes.
3 metres, buddy, 3 metres. Hold there.
Stokes now turns, bangs it deep to the goal square. Superb stuff. Mark taken by Selwood. And his game so far today, he's averaged 24 disposals in the last 3 weeks. He was taken number 7 in last year's draft. He just belongs.
You know, Chriso, he only played a handful of football matches last year for the Bendigo Pioneers. He had injuries, but such was his reputation. The Cats were very quick to take him, and it's been justified with everything we've seen this year.
8 disposals just in this second quarter from 20 metres. Comes in and pops it through, and the Cats out by 12. So Geelong have got all the answers at the moment, and the way they cleared what was a threatening Collingwood attack to get it to the other end again, Rob, the feature their ability to play on quickly.
They play on at every opportunity, and the long kick just makes it very hard for the Collingwood defenders to get a fist on it when the ball's going over their head.
Isles had Milne last week. Joel Selwood today, 10 possessions. As Chriso said, most of them in this second quarter. It's back to 12. Important last 3 minutes. Against Chris Bryan. Doesn't like the decision. He's flat on his back now. Harley with Cloak bearing down. Sets it high. Johnson's got to go. Mooney, 3rd man up. Chapman could have handballed to Steve Johnson. This will test Varco's marking skills. Yeah, it's always going to be tough against Heath Shaw. Grubbing kick, though. Made Isles really work hard for it. Was that okay? It was, but Maxwell, the young leader for the Pies, might get them out of trouble. Clark and now Dale Thomas. Quiet day, just his 5th possession coming up. Lucuria, you can see him running on there, the left of your screen, trying to... Now, is that 15? It is. O'Brien. So we've seen a bit of this from the Magpies. They won't be panicked. We know they're a high-kicking team.
Yeah, a lot of kicks, a lot of short passes like this, and turnover. So Geelong back in the van.
That was a 70s comment, Wolsey. Bit of a hangover. Oh, that's a poor handball from Ablett. Straight to Thomas. Kept it in. Made sure he did this time. And Didak. There's one little slip by the Cats. Didak on his wrong side. Well, what will he do? Maxwell's loose. Ottens is going to have to bend the back to get there. Maxwell from the pocket. Smart. Maxwell smart.
Oh, how many weeks have you been waiting to use that one?
I asked you not to tell me that.
Gee, it was electric stuff from Thomas, wasn't it? Yeah, and the kick for Didak was a beauty. And I thought it might have come unstuck, Rob, with the Didak kick, but Nick Maxwell, as Hutto said, very smart.
Well, and good to see Maxwell back himself against Ottens.
So Nick Maxwell a goal to bring the margin back to 6 points.
And have a look at this magnificent stadium. There's a lot of people here and they are enjoying it. And Collingwood, they just will not lie down. You'd think just on watching it that Geelong have had most of the ball, most of the attacks. But Magpies well and truly in the contest.
Couple of minutes to half time. Gee, it's a crucial couple of minutes too for both clubs. Swan, clever. Didak. Kick towards O'Brien is effective. Just under a minute left in the half.
They're patient, Collingwood. We've seen Geelong try to play on it every opportunity. Collingwood will just sit on the footy and wait. They won't be rushed.
Long kick towards half forward. Big pack of players. Ottens ends up with it. Ablett concedes ground. Scarlett's been outstanding. Takes across the ground. It's okay. Mark taken by Stokes. And again, play on factor as he kicks wide towards Ling. He's got it on centre wing. Confronted by Bryan. Brushes him aside easily. Runs the full measure. Chips towards half forward. And the mark taken by Mooney.
Can't get it long. We did go long because Milburn drifting at the last moment. We needed the ride. Did he interfere with Shaw? No, he didn't, but the ball's over the boundary line. And only seconds remaining in this first half of footy. And Robert Thompson puts the glasses away. I don't think totally satisfied with the scoreline, but the Cats are in front. I guess that's the main thing. One more chance to add to that. It's a throw, though. Advantage. So that will be all she wrote for the first half. Geelong lead by 1 goal, Wolsey.
Well, they lead by 1 goal. Goals are hard to get because the defences of both teams are pretty much on top. Numbers are getting back. And I just feel that Collingwood's starting to work their way back into this game. A couple of times it looked like the Cats may have got a 3 or 4 goal break. Frustration on the face of Gary Ablett there. Frustration there with Darren Milburn putting the arms out to the umpires. Collingwood are relentless. They tackle hard. They use the ball well. They're well coached. They're a goal behind. But they know that they're a chance if they're anywhere near 2 or 3 goals down at three-quarter time.
My wife actually told me one day, she says, if you spent so much time at Bunnings, why don't you go and get a job there? And guess what I did?
4-litre Dulux wash and wear, only $61.90. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Craft Tech Jumbo Toolbox, $69.94. Porcelain tiles, just $19.93 per square metre. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
People will be very surprised at the range that we have.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Get more out of your mobile phone. At Harvey Norman, we'll show you how. Surf the internet, watch Foxtel, synchronise your calendar, use Microsoft Office Mobile, listen to your favourite MP3s, send and receive emails anywhere, anytime. Do all this and more on the hot new Palm Trio 750 smartphone. $0 up front on an $80 Telstra phone plan. Get organised, get connected. Get into Harvey Norman now and we'll show you how. And remember, we can print your photos direct from your mobile phone. Now at Harvey Norman.
Exotic. Exclusive. Exceptional. Exhilarating. Range Rover Sport. Extraordinary.
Australia, whatever your reason for a good hot shower, Rheem will always come on steady, hot and strong.
Shane Warne discusses hair loss.
Well, look, the procedures that Advanced Hair do will hopefully help me, as they have so far in over a year, keep my hair for the rest of my life. And I'm regrowing my own hair, which is important.
Call Advanced Hair Studio now.
What do you think?
We'll never afford it.
Ram's can help you. A Ram's 100% home loan is perfect for first home buyers. You can borrow up to 100% of the purchase price, so you won't need a deposit.
How?
Easy. Rams just make sure you can afford the repayments and will even help you apply for the first home buyer's grant.
Great.
Alternatively, you could move in with the in-laws to save.
Yeah. What's the Rams number?
For a Rams 100% home loan, call 13 Rams. That's 137267.
We're confident we can make the finals, thanks to Hungry Jack's. When we buy any Whopper or Whopper value meal, we could win a trip to the AFL finals and grand final. Plus, there's daily prizes and instant wins. Burgers better at Hungry Jack's.
Sunday AFL live on Fox Sports. A record-breaking Swanee got his boots off last weekend. But guess who's ready to pull his back on when Sydney get in the blue Sunday at 1 from the SCG. Then stay on board as the Kangas and the Dockers line up for a shootout in the Twilight Zone. 4 o'clock footy on Fox Sports.
He's in the zone. He is in the zone.
Sunday AFL, Sydney battle Carlton from 1 before Fremantle face the Kangaroos at 4. All live on Fox Sports 1.
And of course, some fans are a bit more known than others, and some even get paid by the club these days in certain roles. That's the new look Joffa, of course, with that wonderful TKs he had on there, Michael Christian. Let's talk about a couple of things from the first half before the start of this second half, Wallsy. We saw some interesting vision here, Gary Ablett and Cameron Mooney.
Well, this is the new Gary Ablett. He's full of confidence. He's become a leader of this team. He's quite animated, as you can see here, talking to Cam Mooney at half-time. They're talking about tactics and positioning and so on. You know, the mind's on the job. He's in his 6th year now, 115 games of experience, and it's starting to show. And I just think this is fantastic vision to show a young footballer who is coming of age and desperately wants his team to be successful.
Interesting today, he's had 17 possessions, just the one inside 50. He leads the competition in inside 50s. Only 3 contested possessions. You wouldn't say it's been his most dominating game.
No, but he's still had plenty of the ball, Hutto, but he's 2 players in one now. Look, a couple of years ago he was strictly a half-forward flanker specialist. He'd kick his 35, 40 goals a season. He's taken his fitness to a new level, and now he spends as much time in the midfield, probably more time in the midfield, as he does up forward.
In fact, he's had many possessions, I think, in the first 14 weeks in the midfield, as he did for the whole of last year in the midfield. So, well, a big change.
So you've got Ablett playing in the midfield. Chapman plays more in the midfield. A couple of youngsters in Stokes and Varco have come into this team, and they are playing more as the permanent half forwards.
So Geelong have had 4 more inside 50s. Collingwood, though, on the other hand, have had 37 tackles to 29. So as we see this game continue, how do you reckon it'll go?
Well, the one player who has to lift for Collingwood is Anthony Rocker. He's just had the 1 disposal, and Anthony can do that. You know that the big fella can kick 3 goals in 10 minutes and turn a game, but he's been very cold in that first half. I know I've been crying out for a while, but I'd love to see him given a chance in the ruck. And there the boys are linked up for Cats. Tom Harley, number 2, right of screen. He's the one doing the talking at the moment. This team's on a mission, but they have got a very good opponent in Collingwood today. Only the 2nd time that they've played at the MCG this year. For their confidence going into September, they need to have a good win here on this ground in front of a massive crowd, because you won't get anything closer than a finals-like atmosphere than what we've got today.
Christo, Rob mentioned about Rocker, but probably Collingwood have got the standout forward on the ground in Travis Cloak.
Just looking quickly, Rocker's coming to the interchange bench, so that is that's a bit of a statement. That's a little bit of a Oh, well, a wake-up call to him, and I reckon the big fella, when he comes on, he'll go hard because he knows he's got to contribute.
Yes, Travis Clegg has been very, very good. Kicked 2 goals straight last week, and this afternoon has been in good touch again. Has had 4 marks, 11 disposals, and again kicked 2 goals straight. So I wonder who Scarlett will go to here. Travis Clegg looks as though he's going deep. He might go to Travis Clegg, Rob.
Yeah, I think, well, Egan's heading back there, but your good friend Maxwell, who's playing in the forward line, I like that because he gives a contest, Nick Maxwell.
And he'll play most likely on Matthew Scarlett in what would be more termed a defensive role to try and stop the run of Scarlett, who was outstanding in the first half with 12 disposals.
Exactly. Now, this also puts pressure on Egan because Egan's played strictly as a centre-half back this year, not on the last line of defence. So
almost one out in the attacking 50, Cloak and Egan. Third quarter underway at the MCG. Geelong by 6 points. Fraser wins it down. Taken, though, by Bartel coming off the wing. He hacks it forward. Chance for Chapman, who got her off the knee of Mooney. Chapman, a snap at goal. It's the first goal of the second half. And the Cats away to a flyer.
16 seconds.
16 seconds. In fact, the clock has stopped at 18 seconds. But Bartel coming off the wing, hacks it forward. Mooney makes the contest here, smothers it well. Front and centre was Chapman. And a clever snap around the body. And that is the ideal start for the Cats in this second half. Their margin, their lead, back out to 12 points.
And Chriso, Maxwell, who we saw line up at centre-half forward, has now gone into defence. And Clark, the young Irishman, he's pushing up into the forward line.
I wonder if Gary Ablett's instructions to Mooney were to kick the ball in front of you, Wallsy, because he did that so well, didn't he, that time? And gave the small forwards a chance. Great start to this second half by the Cats, and they can thrust forward again through Mackie, who's been a revelation across half-back this year. Mooney. It does come out. Corey, did he keep the hands loose? Just enough. Goldsack. That was good. Solid play from Goldsack. Who wants it the most here on the wing?
Good contest.
As the umpire said, it was a good special comment there. Lucuria, arms were grabbed, but he just got clear. As did Johnson. Thomas is getting hot out there in the kitchen. Harley through the middle. Ablett. Corey. This is great stuff. Hunt able to break it open, and here's Scarlett on the end. Delayed his kick, goes long. Mooney to the front. Oh, he's never going to drop that one.
Always in trouble, Harry O'Brien, when he took his eyes off the ball. He took his eyes off the ball, lost the flight. Mooney kept the eyes on it, got the front position, put the big dukes up and took it. Scarlett, again, attacking rebound off half-back. And the Magpies have brought Anthony Rocker on after a minute.
So Cameron Mooney last week he had 10 shots at goal for 3 goals 6. They're a bit quieter today, but he's such an important player. Has 1-1 so far. Oh boy, that is a bad miss, and he knows it. Well, that's the Magpies off the hook. Already they've made some renovations, haven't they, to their team at the start of this third quarter.
Sure. Now Wakeland in the back pocket for Collingwood. Decides to play on. Miles the target. And Sam Miles takes the mark just backward of the wing. Maxwell running for him. Marks on the southern wing. Probing kick towards Davis. Bounces off his chest, but he's got time to recover. Leon Davis wheels around. Pokes it into the pocket. Thomas is marked deep. Almost the identical spot he kicked at. What would have been goal of the year, Hutto, last week against the Saints.
Dale Thomas corner.
And Mark Thompson will be in the coach's box saying this could be a 2-goal turnaround. The goal that Mooney missed and then the quick transference of play. I'll tell you who was slack for Geelong, and that was Hunt in the back pocket. As that ball came forward, he was 50 metres off Leon Davis.
Tough shot this for Thomas, but he is capable of anything. Drop punt, missing to the near side. So Cats not paying, for the moment at least, for the Mooney miss.
And there are some really interesting matchups, aren't there, Walsey? He talks about the hunt on Davis, whether certain players can constrain other players through the day, might have a real telling effect.
Well, Thomas and Ablett are running together at the moment. Now, that is a fantastic matchup.
Harley really calling on the marking skills there of Tom Hawkins, and his recovery was excellent. Milburn's kick smothered though, so the Magpies continue to do the hard things. And Dale Thomas, he's not just a flash in the pan, is he?
He's not. He was out here 3 hours before the game started doing those little dribble kicks from the boundary line. When the players ran out, he wanted to run through the banner first. He can't get enough of it.
I'm impressed that you were here 3 hours early, Wallsy, just warming up for today too. Enright, back for Joel Corey, and that's good delivery, but too hot. Swooping is Selwood. Ablett spotted Stevie Johnson to get a read on it. Cruel bounce, but Wojcinski kept it alive. Steve Johnson off the left. Which way will the bounce go? The right way, but O'Brien had it covered. Just starting to crack it up there, Chris.
Just jumped up at the right time for Harry the ball there. As he Fraser, Goldsack. Gee, what an impressive debut year it's been from Tyson's Goldsack. Towards Swan, wasn't the greatest of kicks. Swan couldn't quite handle the difficult half volley, but sees it over for a boundary throw-in. Otten's in front. Great boundary throw-in. Swan tries to hold Ling off for Fraser. Gets it to O'Brien. Kick partly smothered. Cloak stands his ground. Johnson leaves it for Lucuria. Can't get the possession away. Wojcinski does well to get it to Corey. The close quarters to Otten's. Back to Corey. And now Egan. Oh, good run. This is great stuff from Geelong. Mackey streams from half-back. Delivers towards half-forward. Mooney. The fist from O'Brien. Isles in good position. Can he get the handball clear? He does. Wakeland off to Shaw. And Shaw dribbles it towards O'Brien, and a chance here for the Magpies to go forward.
Didak in good position here, ready to pounce and run. Rocker makes his move. Josh Hunt, you've got to go, and he did, and got it for Harley and Enright. And look to see there's no forwards pushing up, so they have to work it back through the middle. We know Scarlett's great at doing that. Eventually Stephen Johnson's got free at half forward. Ablett goes past, but he goes for Mooney. O'Brien trails him. Mooney will think about laying it off. Ottens runs back to the square. Hawkins there as well. But Mooney now might have to have the shot.
Another metre. That's it there. Mark's here.
Big Anthony bowls Tom Harley over.
So, Cam Mooney took 5 contested marks last week. And Anthony's kicking wasn't great. That is a pretty good effort, but just the wrong side. So, boy, Cats have blown some chances. Not that was an easy one early in this third.
Jimmy, back a metre. Thank you.
Certainly control things. Mark Thompson looking on. Shaw picks out Goldsack. And it plays on now. He's got Maxwell, but it wasn't a great kick. It went to Chapman. Maxwell was clear. A bad turnover for Collingwood. Paul Chapman coming in for disposal, number 17. Squeezed the kick. It was a poor one. Straight to Isles. Isles now drives it long. Didak has made position on centre wing. Good mark. Oh, dragged down by Mackey. What's that? Is that? No, he's paid the mark. In fact, the free kick. Well, he took the mark in any case. As he kicks a probing one towards Travis Cloak. Wasn't a good kick. Had to try and take it on the half volley. Couldn't. Chapman shares it with Selwood. Egan back to Chapman. Look out. Great tackle from Maxwell. What's the umpire going to do here? He's going to penalise Chapman. That's well played by Nick Maxwell.
Absolutely. And Chapman, a couple of mistakes. The sloppy kick and hanging on to the football.
He drives it to the top of the goal square. Rocker one out. Rocker.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, did Rocker and Collingwood need that, because there was a massive problem developing, and that was Scarlett's run. Now, that is the tackle by Maxwell that set this up. Fantastic. That's typical Collingwood. But Anthony Rocker, if ever he needed a mark and a goal, it's now, because Scarlett was starting to embarrass him. Mick Malthouse didn't know what to do. He had Rocker out there for the first half. He started him on the bench. He then brought him back on. And this just means if he can kick this goal, Scarlett has to start to pay a bit of respect to him.
He comes in from 20 metres, drop punt. There's a goal to Collingwood. Magpies back to within 8 points, and this game hotting up. Geelong threatening on different stages in the afternoon, Rob, to tear the game away from Collingwood, but each time they've looked like it, Collingwood have been able to hit back.
Well, I just love that tackle by Maxwell. And well done by Anthony there. One hand to keep Scarlett away from the footy, and then he put out the right hand, couple of juggles, did it well.
So Rocker capitalising, as you mentioned before. Paul Chapman, a couple of rare mistakes. He's normally a good user of the footy. Ottens, Milburn, deft touch. Selwood mining it out for Ling. Went long. Numbers with the Magpies. Steve Johnson, though, somehow into the pocket. And Heath Shaw able to work it through for another behind. So it's now 9 the difference. The Magpies always very quick to bring it back into play.
Cats dominating out of the centre. They lead the centre clearances 11-5.
Scott Burns, who's again started on the interchange bench, has only played 28 minutes of game time out of a possible 67.
O'Brien had to just force clear and gets around Steve Johnson. Now he's got a problem. Chips it wide to Pendlebury, who marks on centre wing proper. Scott Pendlebury, Lucuria, and again Collingwood methodical in the way they move it forward. No real flow to their game.
Just keep possession, don't they?
Kicks it high towards half forward. Requires a contest. Travis Cloke in front. At the fall, Davis. Brilliant. Davis breaks the tackle of Hunt. Leon Davis. What can he muster here? Kicks to a vacant goal square. It's across the face and through for a behind. So not much to go to at the top of the goal square.
He was entitled to have a kick there. What an exciting player. Did everything right there. Hit the front of the pack. Took the ball at top speed. Josh Hunt, no hope of containing him once he was in full flight.
So perhaps the game turning again. Ling very clean under enormous pressure. Bartel and Selwood, and Ling can't poke his way through the middle. Burns had his say. Egan over the top, and a ball up and a win for Collingwood.
Scotty Burns is a start. We all know that. The way Mick Malthouse is using him is sparingly, but every time he comes on, he has an impact.
Houghton's got it down, but there's Lucuria. Corey wanted it more. Ablett through the congestion. Was there hands in the back? There was. So O'Brien now with a job on Steve Johnson. Wakeland's gone on to Cameron Mooney. Hesitation, forced to loft the kick in the air. Can Mooney get there? You bet he can get there. Can he mark it? Clock.
Don't like Wakeland playing on Mooney. Wakeland won't be quick enough to go with Mooney. Harry O'Brien's the man for Cam Mooney. Hand in the back, yeah, okay. Spoke to the Geesh before the game, Hutto.
Yep, that wasn't.
And the Geesh is happy with the hand in the back interpretation. Said it came from the rules of the game committee. Kevin Bartlett and his mates. Your mate.
Here's Mooney. We're all mates. And Mooney is... Oh, boy. At the post. What are you giggling at, Chriso?
No, not giggling. Just having a few yips at the moment, Cam Mooney. And there's Lucuria back towards Heath Shaw. Oh, gee, it was a funny old wobbly kick. Got to Lockyer. Burns back to Lockyer. Cleverly done, Tarkin Lockyer from half back and kicks it low and hard to Thomas, who jumps vertically superbly. Marks on centre wing. This time he's on with it. It wasn't a great kick, and Mackie read it superbly. And marks at half back for Geelong.
Cameron Mooney now 1 goal 4. We mentioned before 3-6 last week. It's a worry for them.
Harley just backtracking to Scarlett, forcing them back here. Collingwood. Medhurst applying the pressure. Scarlett kicks it to Blake, who jarred free. Off to Harley, his captain, from half back, delivers out wide towards Corey. Now needs to beat a couple of Magpies here and does it superbly. Gets assistance from Bartel. Sweeps the handball towards Blake. Isles has got him, but he's got Corey in support, who wobbles it towards Wojcinski, who's on Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson did well to dispossess him, but Egan support numbers with the Cats, and here they go again. Wojcinski dashes away, kicks towards Mooney again, off fist this time from Clark, who left high. O'Brien needs to be clean here, Harry. Can't pick up the football. Spills to Wojcinski. Gee, it's tight and tough in there at the moment. Varco, little give to Bartel's good. Kelly kicks towards Johnson. It's play on the court, but he's got a loose player in the goal square. Ling will kick a goal for Geelong. And the margin just squeezes out to 15 points. And the Cats just look like they're getting on top at the moment. And it was well worked out inside their attacking 50. Just had more numbers.
They did, and they just steamrolled it forward, didn't they? It reminded me of the great Hawthorn team of the 80s, where they had the numbers just going forward, Hutto, time and time and time again.
Well, once again, Collingwood find themselves in this position. As you can see, the Cats handball in this third quarter.
They are the #1 handballing team in the competition, Geelong. They average 166 handballs a game, and it's just constant motion. It's like a tsunami, Hutto. You build it up in the back line, and then you just rush it forward.
Joel Corey out of the middle. This is Ling. Good awareness. Harley, Kelly. Uses the foot that time. O'Brien arrives late. Steve Johnson just having sway at the moment. He's committed to moving. Now he's got a bit of an effort to find a teammate. Mooney, crowded by Magpie players. Clark and Lockyer. Now Varco's coming. Varco's coming. He got some good protection. And Lockyer's able to get it in the Rocker direction. And now Rocker's got a feel for it.
Big top, Anthony.
Oh, he's 90 metres out from goal. He can go with some big kicks. And Milburn knew that. And they have it covered. Mackie, Corey. He needs to... Ling's got to watch out here. Maxwell. Unable to be clean. And Mackie probably had more time than he thought there. O'Brien just disposed of by Kelly. Illegally, said the umpire. And a free kick going Collingwood's way on the wing.
And Scotty Burns is going to hit Kelly twice with a couple of tackles, even though the whistle's gone. That's how keen he is.
Free kick to O'Brien for the sling from Kelly. Collingwood need the next goal, you sense. High towards half forward, another contest. And well played by Corey. And he marks it half back for the Cats.
Medhurst just 2 touches for the game in that forward pocket for the Pies.
Blake, wobbly old kick towards half forward. Mooney and Wakeland. Wakeland in front, taps it intelligently to O'Brien. And has got a loose player on the wing. It's Pendlebury. He gets on with it quickly. That was well played. It wasn't a great handball, but Johnson did well to pick it up off his bootlaces and kick short to Thomas inside the centre square. This is better. And
that's 50 metres.
Oh, gee. Oh, I don't know. Umpire said okay as he kicks it long inside attacking 50. Maxwell marks uncontested 45 from goal. And Nick Maxwell, who kicked a wonderful goal in the second term, another opportunity here. Although his stats for set shots this year doesn't give you a great amount of confidence. And that was the interference from Brzezinski. Okay, said the umpire. He's kicked 1-5, Rob, from set shots, Nick Maxwell.
Well, I love the way he plays the game. He's a competitor.
Well, they need a goal here, Collingwood, from just inside 50. He unloads, drop punt across the face. And, in fact, I think it hit the behind post, so it's out on the full.
That's a backman's kick, isn't it?
And the free kick to the Cats.
But the danger has yet to pass. And, in fact, they're lining up here. Thomas, Cloak. Well, distance won't be a problem. And so it proves. There's Rocker makes some contact with their boundary umpire.
Hit the stick, out of bounds on the full. Paul Medhurst has now got Cameron Ling as his opponent. Ling has forced Swan off the grass. He's on the bench. Swan just beaten by Ling. Now Ling sitting on Medhurst, who's had just 2 touches for the game.
Having a stellar year, Cameron Ling. Less possessions than he has in previous years, but more effect. Mackie decided to stay behind. Chapman, his last kick was a bit sloppy. That one is lofted. Mooney, oh, late and clumsy. I thought it gave away the free. The umpire play on anyway. Johnson breaking. Now Cloak's in good shape here. Ling did well to get back, and Scarlett, look at him come. Kept on going. Blake, surely he'll handball next time he touches the footy. Over the top. Kelly, was he on top? Did he hatch it? No, ball up.
So a bounce between centre half forward for the Magpies. Bryan towards Maxwell. Kelly. Scarlett did superbly to break the tackle. Floats it out wide. O'Brien and Johnson. O'Brien tries to keep it in front of him. Needs to keep his feet. Does well. Keeps his hands clear. Got the handball away to Clark. Clark got tagged, but he was able to get it back to O'Brien, who jams it on the boot. Kicks it high, and it's effective. Mark taken by Cloak. Collingwood a chance here as he delivers towards half forward. Medhurst marks in front of his eyes.
Get it to Rocker, because Rocker's on Milburn. Scarlett's been displaced. Just put it up high for Anthony.
Well, he's taking his time. Play on called now as Medhurst kicks to a central location. Bryan at the back in good spot here. Well done by Blake. Maxwell had his arms pinned, couldn't get it out, and then tied up by Ling. What's the umpire going to do here? He lets it go. It spills out. Good desperate stuff there by Goldsack. It ends up with Travis Cloak, but going nowhere. Good tackle coming from Enright and a bounce 20 metres from Collingwood's goal.
Battling really hard, the Pies. Got it locked in their forward line. They are the best team at keeping it in their forward 50 area. Ooh. Cameron Ling's given Thomas a little one to go on with.
Mackie, oh geez, wrapped up. And the umpire will call for it again. Scott Burns takes a break. As you mentioned, Rob, used sparingly this afternoon.
Yeah, but used very well. He'll probably not come on until some stage in the final quarter, under 5 minutes to go in this third term.
Blake again, this time straight to Bartel. Comes out to Travis Cloak, who snaps around the body, brings it back too far and kicks it behind for Collingwood. Margin 14 points.
Milburn. And the Magpies this time one-on-one, and the Cats have already made their breaks and there's nothing doing for him. Milburn forced to go short and finds Josh Hunt.
Massive 5 minutes this. I just think if Geelong get a goal, it'll give them the biggest break they've had for the game. They'll go to a 20-point lead. It'll be hard to see them get tossed from there.
Hawkins for Corey. He knew he had some problems. Ablett, and just shuffle it around on the wing. Chapman. Ablett looking for a way out. He usually finds one. Leaves Goldsack at his weight with some good protection from his teammates. More help from Bartel. Not sure about that kick. Well, I am sure about it now. It was always going to be impossible for Steve Johnson. So still plenty of time here for the Magpies.
Magpies get another one. They'll go in at three-quarter time with a real sniff. We know that they win these, can win these close games, the Pies. Great belief in themselves.
No one on the mark here.
And Geelong have got numbers back inside the defensive 50. You can see Milburn just lurking there in the background. So presents Travis with a bit of a problem. He's got nowhere to go, so he goes back. Thomas. Back to Swan. So the Cats have done well here to get numbers back and just clog up this attacking forward. You can see Harley in the background as well. Loose. Swan close to the line. Wasn't a great kick. Lucuria matched up against Hawkins, and Hawkins a comfortable mark.
So the last couple of weeks he's...
Don't go down. Yeah. Don't go backwards, young fella.
He's found himself up the ground a little further. Goes for Ling and Swan. That scrap continues. There's the Hawkins mark. He's had 6 possessions today.
Well, Chris Bryan needs to give a good contest here against Ottens.
Ottens to the front. Bryan got the head to it. O'Brien, Ottens, look at that, rucking and roving stuff. Kelly. Bartel will just let it go. They don't mind kicking it high. If the big men don't get you, sometimes the small men do, but that time Wakeland had Mooney. And he can find Lockyer, and Pendlebury's ready to go on the outer side.
Lockyer's kick is perfect. Mark taken by Pendlebury. Collingwood need a goal. Couple of minutes left in that quarter. Medhurst couldn't. Selwood over the top. Free kick though. And gee, Collingwood are in a good spot too, because Didek had the run of it. But Selwood's got it at right half back for the Cats. Kick towards the wing.
Been good this contest. The 2 stars, Thomas and Ablett.
Ablett. Mackie, who's been very good. Andrew Mackie found his spot in this Geelong side, playing across half-back and full-back with his run and skill. Proved a real asset as he chips towards half-forward. Mooney turns and kicks to a target at half-forward. Coming up, Goldsack did superbly and chips it back towards Thomas. Just got over Mooney's head. Thomas needs to be clean here, and he is. Lockyer off to O'Brien. Collingwood. The old wobbly torpedo, Rob, as he kicks towards Medhurst. Good fist coming from Selwood. Such a wonderful player he is so early in his career. Harley does well. Selwood shovels it forward, only as far as O'Brien, but does well to dive back on the football, win it back, knock it out towards Enright. Boundary line close. And the umpire says throw it in and take a bow. Joel Selwood, outstanding play across half back for the Cats.
was like a clinic of some of the various skills you have to do. I mean, above his head, he was strong with the spoil. Now there's a free kick. And it's coming back to Corey Enright. Had a terrific opening quarter, did Enright. Finds Egan, fighting across half-back. Now Hunt. Such power in the kick for Joel Corey.
Probably the best kick in their side is Josh Hunt.
So there's about 60 seconds left.
I think the trainer got in the way.
It's a Geelong trainer, is it?
Collingwood free kick.
So it's a Collingwood free kick.
Runner interfered with play. It's your no.
The trainer got in the way.
Interfered with play. It's a free kick.
Well, you heard the explanation. Mackie and Didak. Mackie, no free kick. Either time. Look at that. It's not a touchdown yet.
That's it, boys. That's it. It's a bounce. Hey, get off him, Josh.
Let's have a look at the trainer.
Tripped his own man.
He did.
So a bounce close to the boundary line. Oh, gee, hard work and tough work there from Kelly. Ottens well tackled by Davis. Not long to go in the quarter. Thomas, hard up against the line, gets pushed over. And a boundary throw in at half forward.
He doesn't have much luck with boundary umpires, Thomas. And Mick getting ready to rally the troops. Just fantastic to hear Mick Malthouse say he loves coaching this group of young pies.
Rucker was held. No.
Out of the ruck contest.
Out of the ruck contest. Geelong free kick and will go to Ottens. He chips inside the centre square. A late chance here for Geelong. Scarlett's all by himself. One bounce. Kicks it towards full forward. On the lead was Hawkins. O'Brien tries to outmuscle him. Hawkins does well. Dives on the loose football. O'Brien. Goldsack still loose. Goldsack clears the immediate area, but only as far as Wojcinski. Pressure from O'Brien. Now Harley. Good tackle on him by Pendlebury. Well done, Kelly. Somehow got the handball out to Wojcinski. Couple of seconds left. They need a long kick immediately. Chance now out wide, but that's it.
Good pressure, Collingwood.
3/4 time at the MCG, and the Cats, they've done it pretty well. 9-10, 7-8, the Magpies, the lead, 14 points.
Well, gee, there's just no easy kicks. No easy kicks. The pressure's on. Two terrific tackling teams. Goals hard to come by again. Low-scoring game.
Get up to $400 cash back on Panasonic air conditioners now at Harvey Norman. Warm in winter, cool in summer. The beauty of reverse cycle. And now's the time to buy with up to $400 cash back from Panasonic. This split system air conditioner with energy efficient inverter technology is just $14.99 after $300 cash back. For larger areas, the 8.2 kilowatt model now just $17.99 after $400 cash back. Make home comfortable year round with cashback savings from Panasonic and your air conditioning specialist, Harvey Norman.
Bunnings Warehouse, hard hits, as seen on Fox Sports.
Big future in front of him.
20-year-old from Shell Harbour keeps putting his hand up. Oh, what a tackle! Greg Burden was. Boy, he hit the shoulder there of Morris, and there is a bit of a flare up here.
The NRL hard hits, proudly brought to you by Bunnings Warehouse, where lowest prices are just the beginning.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Here at Wild Chat, our girls are selected by their wild rating. Let's meet some now. This is Sky. She's got all the right moves. This is Amy. She can make a grown man cry with her smile. And this is Beck. So hot, we're sure she's the cause of global warming. As you can see, our girls love wild text, and they're waiting for your wildest text now. Text WILD to 191030, Australia's hottest text chat.
Where have you been, my blue-eyed son? Where have you been, my darling young one? I stumbled on the side of 12 misty mountains. I walked and I crawled on 6 crooked highways. I stepped in the middle of 7 dark forests. I've been in front of a dozen blue oceans.
Introducing the all-new Triton VR. Better at getting the hard jobs done.
Our next act are pianists. with their musical interpretation of what a man can do with the technology of advanced medical institutes. Sniff and stiff. That's a hard act to follow.
Could you teach me to play like Sniff and Stiff again?
Yeah, sure. Call Advanced Medical Institute and they can show you how.
1-800 311 311.
Towards the kick-off line, offhand, stumped away. Opportunity once again to get it back inside the forward 50. Hand pass comes across to a teammate, sets it up. There goes the kick in low and hard. Oh, that's a good mark from a beautiful pass. Plays on immediately. The hand pass on its way. There goes the kick. Look at that face. It's long, it's long, it's long. It's a goal.
AFL World, put yourself in the action. Open 10 till 6 daily.
What a day. Centimetre perfect.
And Ling has stayed out on the ground on both occasions. He hasn't necessarily had to come off suffering any fatigue at all. He is supremely fit at the moment and has done a remarkable job to turn himself around. He is a great example for his teammates out there at the moment.
Cameron Ling, 78 minutes, thanks Andy, of the possible 85, and 14 possessions. Dane Swan, only 8. And this from a man who averages over 20. What do you reckon, Rob?
I reckon the next goal's so important. If it goes to Geelong, it'll be very hard for Collingwood to get up. But if Collingwood get it, their fighting spirit will prevail, and it'll put pressure on Geelong that they haven't had, Hutto, for 10 weeks. They've won their 9 games in a row, and they've done it pretty well. They've won convincingly. All of a sudden, it'll be a finals-like atmosphere, and there might be just some doubts start to appear in the minds of some of these Geelong players. Hey, Geelong's been terrific this year, but they haven't won. They haven't been able to do it when it counts in finals for a long time. This is their biggest test this year.
I don't think they need to be reminded of that. Last quarter ready to get underway. Cats lead by 14.
And umpire Rosebery, a perfect bounce, won by Otten, straight to Lucuria. Collingwood have been smashed in the centre this afternoon. Chance though for Lockyer, he was held without it, and a centre clearance for the Magpies, which is, as I said, been a rarity. Milburn lined up inside attacking 50, Rob, for the Cats.
12-6 the centre clearances.
Lockyer towards half forward, straight to win. Right, Lockyer did well to make it a contest. Hunt took it off hands beautifully. Otten's back to Hunt. Good build up. This from Geelong. Josh Hunt, no one in front of him, so he puts the medal to the level and gets it towards full forward. And the mark's taken by Waken. It was meant to be pedal to the medal, I think, Hutto, as he kicks towards Swan, who marks at half back.
He went flat out.
He was going quick, wasn't he? Swan chips it. Johnson, gee, it wasn't a great kick. It's just been one of those days for Dane Swan, who has been in outstanding form, and falling at the feet of Johnson. Boundary throw in the attacking side of the wing for the Cats. Ottens wins it down. O'Brien tries to pick it up. He's well tackled though, and umpire Rosebery calls for it.
Interesting to start this last quarter. The Cats have got Chapman and Ablett playing as permanent forwards. They're not around this stoppage at all. So Mark Thompson has got his best goal kickers in goal kicking positions.
Geelong have won the hitouts 26-16 today. We mentioned the centre clearances. Well, Ling thriving on the tough stuff there with Lucuria, who certainly won't take a backward step. It's about territory at the moment, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, Stokes has dived on that. He could have some problems. No, the ball ripped out of his hands by Clark. There's Paul Chapman.
Yes, well, he's a hard nut, Paul Chapman. Steve Johnson and Mooney, the only Cats inside their forward 50.
Lucuria had a bit of a backwards tackle there from Ottens. Hunt, he's having a bit of a say in this game, but Lockyer was the man that took the advantage that time. Mackie was able to ride it pretty well and clear the path for Scarlett, who spots Gary Ablett bolting to the wing. Crucial play here. And it's Burns that wins it. Although his delivery not so good for O'Brien. So Burns has got to go again. And Milburn, a couple of grizzled veterans, as Tim Lane would say. This is Ablett's kick. It's not great, but it was just a little bit too far for Lockyer. Goldsack gives Lockyer a second chance, and they're combining pretty well. Good collaboration. Clark, his kick just misses the mark. Swan with time on his side, though. For Fraser on the wing. Enright there late on the scene. Clark ducks clear at the 50. Egan reads that and can spoil comfortably. Cats with the answers at the moment. Still a long way to go. Was that deliberately out of bounds? No, it wasn't. Throw it in. 14 points still the margin.
You've got to love Martin Clark. He's adapted to the run-on game. As soon as he gets it and disposes of it, he pushes forward, just sprints and gets 50 metres forward of the action to be used again.
Fraser to O'Brien. Out wide, Lucuria. Well, on his left side, Paul Lucuria chips it short. Cloak who marks. Hard up against the line. 50 from goal. Travis Cloak has been very workmanlike today, coming in for his 16th disposal, one of Collingwood's best. There's a pot shot from hard up against the line. It's coming back. It's coming back. He's kicked a wonderful goal for the Maggies. Rob, you talked about the first goal of the quarter. It's been provided by Travis Cloak after some good work from Fraser O'Brien and then Lucuria. And the margin is back to 8 points.
Well, he's missed plenty from dead in front, and we've seen him do that. Kick it long from the angle. Such an exciting young talent.
Well, they had to work hard for it, but they've got the goal. Now, what will the Cats do? The margin back to 8. It is really hotting up. Selwood streaming through. Free kick, contact advantage. Penalty takes it. Things opening up. Mackie and Didak in position A. Swings around. Fraser short. Maxwell long. So to Cloak, who might just be the go-to man for the Magpies. Fraser just couldn't get it back to the go-to man. And Enright to clean up for the Cats. Space for Selwood to work in here. Ling has to use his overhead skills. He's got some. Now Kelly. Johnson leads to the pocket. Chapman down the middle. It might still come back to Steve Johnson. But the desperation of Tyson Goldsack on display again.
Isn't he quick? Goldsack so quick.
O'Brien into the back pocket. Shaw. Not much to go to, as you can see, so forced to kick across the ground to Swan. He finds space. Short to Lockyer. Geelong happy to concede those first couple of kicks. That's a great kick from Lockyer to Pendlebury, who drifted into space on the wing. Didn't want to play on. Perhaps would have been the better option. Now gets the call from Swan, who's run from half back. Chips towards Cloak. Oh, good strong hands. He's brought down by Egan. Umpire McBurney says it's okay. So Travis Cloak chips towards Rocker. One out with Scarlett. Davis at the full. Just couldn't quite control it at the bootlaces. And Rye Grin as we'll get a boundary thrown deep in Collingwood's forward pocket.
Looming is the danger man, is Travis Cloak. That is such a good mark. Hard ball coming at him. Takes it at full stretch.
Fraser. Loose ball. Fraser dribbles it goalward. Maxwell here and Harley. Maxwell. Chance at the back. Chance it with Davis. Davis can kick these miracle goals, but this time it's across the face. Through for a behind. Margin back to 7 points.
Interesting, Rob. You identified at the Cloak-Egan battle. And Egan's conceded 16 goals in 14 games. So he's had a very good year. He's been an important player for them to find in their structure.
Margin 8 points in favour of the Cats.
Ablett, Stokes had good body position, accommodating bounce. Now, look for the leading players. One of them, Steve Johnson, and he goes for Mooney. Too far out, doesn't dish it off.
Open forward line.
Chapman's deep, he goes for Steve Johnson instead. Goldsack went the wrong way that time. That's where the crafty nature of Steve Johnson comes into play. $20 goals, 16 coming into today, Steve Johnson. Of course, came back in the team and has played in all of the 9 wins for Geelong, but Chapman defying gravity.
He did. I think everybody thought it was going through for a behind.
That
He's leapt early and just hung there.
Came from nowhere. Everyone had given it up, as you said, Wolsey. Paul Chapman. Now, the mark was good, but the goal is, well, it's not there. It's a behind. Wow.
I think if he had his time over again, we'll have a look at the mark. Early. He didn't put the hands in the back. He put the knees in the back.
Well, that's okay.
Fashion hover as the Magpies bring it from defence. Johnson, good kick into the path to Thomas. He'll play on, takes on Ablett. Arches back, got away from him. Dale Thomas uses Marty Clark. Clark 60 from goal. Where will he go? Chips it into the pocket. Gee, set Didek a real task there. And going back with courage was Harley. He takes a comfortable mark.
How often have we seen Geelong defenders do that? Running back with the flight of the ball, put their bodies at risk.
Across the ground. Selwood.
He's had a bundle of it this quarter, Selwood.
Isn't he? What? Just so much poise as he kicks it high from half back. Wakeland up with the fist. In from the side was Lockyer. At the back leaves a couple of cats free. Kelly to Corey. He's got a loose player inside the centre square. Johnson, this time clever one-hander. Wants to play on. And does. Kicks it towards Chapman again in good position, and he marks sliding forward 45 from goal.
I reckon it's good coaching by Mark Thompson, because he's put Chapman and Ablett up in the forward line. That's where they specialise. Sure, they're becoming midfield players as well, but that's where they're dangerous. And at crunch time, he's put his guns where they like to fire.
So Paul Chapman will kick from 50 metres. We've just had 17 goals kicked in the match, and would extend the lead to 15 points and make it terribly difficult for Collingwood, you would think, from here.
2-5 from set shots for today for Geelong.
So Chapman from 50 just tugs it left, and the margin out to 10 points.
Been able to get the ball away from the kick-ins pretty well, Collingwood, in this game. And one of the leading exponents of the kick-in recent years, Tarkin Lockyer, he's got it again.
To himself, and then Josh Fraser, who's loose. And the Magpies are running. They are not going to die wondering, that's for sure. Burns, penetrating kick. Mooney cast in the role of a defender. Now it's Josh Hunt, no, it is Mooney, right the first time. For Ottens, who's got Milburn on here. If he can just give it to him, Milburn was away. Didn't see him. Still doesn't see him. Now, Steve Johnson works back towards the goals. And he's going to have to try and overcome two here. Was it interference? It was. And it's a free to Steve Johnson. He engaged Harry O'Brien.
Yeah.
And O'Brien must have been too vigorous, according to D. Margetts.
Another example of the long kick going back. Harry O'Brien, eyes off the footy. Makes contact with Johnson. It is a free kick. There he gives himself away there. As soon as he does that, takes his eyes off the footy, makes contact, is in big trouble. This has to be a goal because Geelong's had so many chances.
And that chance is taken by Steve Johnson.
So the margin now out to 16 points.
Have a look at Johnson's head. Keep looking. I reckon he might have heard that.
So some real breathing space for the Cats. They lead by 16 points. Still plenty of time left. Josh Fraser.
And the good thing about this contest, Chriso, neither coach has put extra players in his back line.
Pendlebury on the non-dominant side, kicks high towards half-forward. Medhurst a big lead, couldn't hold it. Ball in dispute, Medhurst fights. Rocker gets it to Burns, who pulls it back across the body. Harley, but it's wide. And a free kick to the Cats, who have been so devastating when they've got their ball in defence, of being able to move it so quickly.
What they've done well, Collingwood, in this last quarter is win the clearances 6-0 in their favour.
And that's a big turnaround, isn't it? Both defences have done a good job today, really. Harley led the way early for the Cats, put a stamp on the game with his work on Dale Thomas. And there's Egan with a rare win. He's battled hard, but he's had a real job ahead of him. with Travis Cloak. Goes for Ottens. Fraser, hands in the back. So getting to the halfway stage of this last quarter, as you said, there's still plenty of time. Oh, Varco had to, well, he was bodied away. Well done by Ben Johnson. Thomas and Johnson again in game 150. Frees them up here at half forward. Dane Swan, who normally accumulates so many possessions in an innocuous fashion, but today he's been held by Ling. Maxwell, we've seen him all over the park as a lead up forward right now. Cloak is the long option. He's got the run. Milburn will come and spoil. Lightning stuff from Pendlebury. Davis, no room to move. Cats close them down. Wojcinski had to be clean with the hands. Mackie. Johnson. Used all his time and more, and you can see they've turned it over.
Thomas kicks it wide. Travis Cloak, 60 from goal.
Too far out.
From there. Yep.
Too far out this time.
Very crowded forward half, forward attacking 50 for the Magpies. And there's the goal square. So he decides to go back and across to Swan. Halfway through this final term.
They'll be patient, Collingwood. They'll just try to get a mark inside the 50. Last thing they want to do is kick it long to a contest.
Clark. What about going across and back to Wakeland, but chips instead to the Courier. Back to Clark. Marty Clark, can he make the right decision? Drives it long to the goal square. At the back, Davis almost. Chance for Mackie. Davis rips it out of his grasp. Davis deep on the boundary line, turns and kicks behind. So, margin 15. Collingwood need goals though.
Varco coming off for Geelong, and he's learnt what the big time's all about today. Just had the 4 touches.
Steve Johnson for Ling. Good kick to advantage. Hawkins working up along the line. So too Joel Corey. And Corey's had a good day. That's not his best effort. His 29th possession coming up. Steve Johnson just took a little glance, took his eyes off the ball, and you can see what happened. Isles, though, makes it an error. Stokes, wow, that is straight up and down. Mooney's charging out. Dane Swan didn't take his eyes off it. Will it be 50 or not? Well, it is 50.
He always takes you to the edge, Cameron Mooney.
Gee, it was great courage, wasn't it?
And I reckon it's the right call too. He showed all the courage, Dane Swan, eyes on the footy. Mooney didn't, he just belted him once he'd marked it.
Steve Johnson off. Clark short for Isles. He hasn't kicked a goal in his couple of matches, Isles. This one you'd think would be beyond him.
Geelong has to fill the holes because they will be looking to get the short. Here it goes.
Changed his mind at the last moment.
He did. He was going to Leon Davis, and then he just hesitated the kick and turned it over.
Leon didn't know that the play on call could have been in trouble. Milburn still not out. The peril hasn't passed yet. Maybe it has now as Enright still trying to find an avenue out. And Ling's strong, and he's played a wonderful game.
He's been terrific, hasn't it? He's best when he's given a job to close someone down, and he's done that all this year. Last year he was trying to freewheel and be a midfield star. That's not his go.
Enright towards Hawkins, and Hawkins earns the free kick against Goldsack.
A few battered bodies for the Cats, though. We saw Johnson come off, and Cameron Ling's pulled up a bit sore after that contest.
He'll soldier on.
Tom Hawkins. Time ticking away for the Magpies. Long and high inside, attacking 50 at the back. Oh, gee, almost a mark to Egan. Egan grabs it now, handball wide. The Courier's got it, wrapped up immediately. Clark, little toe poke effective. Oh, Ben Johnson's handball wasn't great. He's short, couldn't take it. Corey could, but the Magpies have the numbers. Pendlebury, Johnson, kick towards Rocker, who marks in the centre of the MCG. Now Cloak is one out. Rocker sees that and goes long and wide to Travis Cloak, who marks 40 metres from goal.
Beautiful kick by Anthony Rocker.
Well, Rob, you would think that if Collingwood are any chance this afternoon, Travis Cloak must kick this goal.
I agree.
Well, he's far enough out.
He'll kick from 40 metres, angle about 50 degrees. He's kicked 3 goals this afternoon, Travis Cloke. He comes in, drop punt on its way. It's curling back. He's kicked a goal for the Magpies. So the margin is back to 9 points. And Cloke has 4. And the game is still up for grabs.
It is, and Collingwood need to get the clearance from the centre bounce, which they've done so very well in this final quarter.
Ten marks, 19 disposals, and now 4 goals won for Travis Cloke. Great game.
We could be headed for a grandstand finish. Look at that crowd, 85,497, the second biggest for the season, and the biggest between these two sides since the semi-final of 1967. And now it is game on, and the Magpies will feel that. The adrenaline will be surging through them now. Fraser for Cloke. He's the man to head to. Egan still with the task and wins on that occasion. Scarlett, not a great kick, but Selwood.
He's a beauty, isn't he? Again, Collingwood got the centre clearance. They've taken the clearances 8-0 in this quarter.
We just can't sing Selwood's praises enough. Another 21 possession game. Enright takes the grab. They're one-on-ones all ahead. Hit of the 50. Someone pulled out a mark. Mooney hit the contest hard. Kelly, clever. Bartel, they keep it alive. Big Blake comes through, makes a physical contest of it. As Geelong try and lock it inside, they build the wall. This is Enright. Mackie is a goal kicker. It's a probing ball. Hawkins is there. Wakeland still not over yet. Big Hawkins bends the knees, digs deep, and finds Bartel.
Did well to kick. Hawkins on the left foot, tried to centre it, gave his team a chance.
And he tells Bartel to have a shot.
You have a shot, kick the goal and make me look a hero.
Exactly.
Now Chriso, spark up.
It's gone very quiet, Rob, just for the moment.
Gee, it was a clever kick, wasn't it, by Hawkins?
11 goals for the year for Bartel. What a massive goal kicker over the years. But he's had his kicking boots on this year. Cool kick from Bartel.
It's a good effort, isn't it? 1 against 2. Swings around on the left foot, centres the footy. Mark Thompson showing real confidence in young Blake to do the centre ruck work. They haven't won a centre clearance, Geelong, in this 4th quarter. This is Collingwood's best chance to get it again from the middle.
Fraser beaten by Blake. Burns has been fantastic. Handball intended for Lockyer, taken by Bartel. Lucuria in amongst the nest of Geelong players. Spills to Ablett from 45. He kicks offline, one behind.
There was a touch of Gary Senior about that, wasn't it? The way he grabbed it on the half-forward flank. Just a touch.
Just a touch.
Just a touch. Getting carried away. Isles out to the wing. Ling and Swan. Now that was holding on, and the umpire spotted it. So Ling blocks the copy there.
Swan really firing up in the last quarter, as he so often does. He was controlled by Ling early. This is his 8th touch in the final term.
Lucuria and Josh Fraser. 16 points. It's a big hurdle for the Magpies to overcome. Bowler Thompson knows the job's not done yet. Long ball, Maxwell and Harley, one-on-one. He's taken some terrific marks since he's come back in the team. There was a question over whether he was in their best 22.
He is.
The skipper has answered that, that's for sure. Ablett away now for Mooney.
Selwood on the break.
It's a mountain to climb for him here. And Lockyer read it beautiful. Excellent anticipation.
One of Collingwood's best, Harkin Lockyer. Off to Didak. Just stops. Nothing too much to go to. So forced to go back to Lockyer. He hasn't got much to go to either, as Geelong built a wall across half forward for Collingwood. Forced to kick laterally to Wakeland. Now we're inside the final 5 minutes. And Collingwood need to take a risk here, need to take a...
Geelong really working hard to get one-on-one. That's why the Collingwood players are hesitating. There's just no easy options to go for.
So he handballs back to Wakeland. Wakeland long and wide towards Cloak. Ablett runs straight at him. That's a free kick. Just didn't have eyes for the ball, Gary. Yep.
Egan's backed off Cloak, and he can't afford to do that.
Lucuria should play on. Doesn't. Now he does. Burns leads short for him. He goes beyond him. Rocker and Scarlett. Rocker couldn't take it. Davis soccers off the ground, but only as far as Hunt. Good handball under pressure to Corey. He tucks it under the arm and he's away. Chips it into the midfield. Chance down there for Mooney. Well done, Wakeland. Thomas got a boot in there, only as far as Corey, who followed up, got the handball to Hawkins, sweeps it wide. Here's a chance for Enright. He's 60 from goal, picks it up. Where will he go? Concedes ground. Ling, well, wasn't the greatest of kicks. Back to Enright. Play on's the call. Hands and knees. It was a great handball. Hawkins, Ottens from 45 kicks it to the goal square, but comfortable mark taken by Lockyer.
Some big tired forwards for Geelong. Hawkins and Ottens.
It's pretty tired bodies all around the park at the moment. Heath Shaw motors out of defence. Goes for Rocker, one hand. Well, did pretty well there, but Scarlett, his nemesis for the day. Rocker had a pretty good record against Geelong. Kicked 4 in this game last year. Geelong were embarrassed by Collingwood last year in this game, and I reckon that's been part of the motivation for them this afternoon. They're smashed by 102 points. And that, you can see there, the record, a long time between drinks for the Cats.
Good pressure. Selwood again. You're looking at a young star there. I predict this, Hunter. He will be a Geelong captain before his career is over. Thank you.
You never know. I agree with you.
You're just busy writing it down, Rob.
Yeah, you're a great tipster, Rob. That is a terrific grab from Bartel. Wanted to give it to Chapman. Now, Cameron Mooney charging out and got it.
Play
Not
on.
paid. Boy, he had a fair piece of it, didn't he?
Won't be happy.
Oh, Mark, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it, Cam.
85,000 people here at the MCG.
Come back in a moment and have a look at it. The Mooney attempt. Well, Magpies are down on their knees. Can the Cats finish them off? Joel Corey, he's been as good as any Cat this year. 34th possession coming up. You heard the whistle. Ablett for Milburn. Egan.
Might be happy just to chip it around for a little while, the Cats. Let the clock run down. That's what Enright's saying. Settle down, boys. Settle down. Yeah, here they go.
Back to Scarlett.
Collingwood crowd going off their head about this, but Collingwood players just have to man them up. They're a very well-drilled team, Geelong. See, Collingwood's put the flood on. And so the Cats say, well, we're in front very comfortably. We'll just keep possession of it. We don't care if we go backwards. Just means you can't get it.
Milburn. Just happy to retain possession. Handball to Ablett. Coming in for disposal number 32. Chips it short. Great game, but that's it. Geelong, for the first time since 1966, have won 10 on the trot, and for the moment, going 3 games clear at the top of the table by beating the Magpies in front of 85,000 at the MCG.
It was a gritty win, wasn't it, for the Cats against a team that you've got to earn the 4 points like just about no other. The Magpies still undermanned. We shouldn't forget that. Put up a wonderful contest. Cats really no telling blow. They couldn't finish them off. They got to the line though, and when they got to the line, they were ahead. 11-14-80 to 9-10-64. Andy Mars out amongst the celebrations with Cameron Ling.
I'm sure you'd love to be down here, Hutto. Congratulations, 150 fantastic games, but this must rank right up there. 85,000 September feel about it. What a win.
Yeah, it was a very enjoyable one. It was a hard-fought game. Collingwood, they were terrific all day. Wasn't a free-flowing game, but just a real hard battle and great crowd, and they're just pumped that the boys lifted there in the end. It was a great win.
And 10 in a row now. I guess that's the sort of win you'd like to get, a really solid arm wrestle, not the free-flowing game. You're really tested and you've prevailed again.
Yeah, it's been good so far. I mean, it's great that we've won 10 games, but that's sort of not well. It's not about the results, it's about the process that we go through. And we've been able to play in some really quick flowing games. We've been able to play in some wet weather games, and obviously a really tight battle here today. So the boys are able to adapt to the conditions well, and I thought just everyone, the boys were so fantastic today. Really good effort.
Everything about this group exudes the fact that you look like you're on a mission and you know that you want to do something special. Is that the secret behind not getting ahead of yourselves?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's every bloke just knows he's got to play the part. We know that if we get ahead of ourselves at all, this game can come crashing back down on you pretty quickly. So we just reset our goals each week and go back through the same process and just keep working towards the little things that we're trying to achieve. And so far, so good, mate.
Congratulations on 150. Well done. Back to you, boys.
Thank you, Andrew. And a big day for the club, but for the Cats as well, as we watch the Magpies trudge off the MCG. They'll still be around, and you think they'd be around in September, Wolsey, as well.
I just love the way Collingwood play their football. They give absolutely everything. They're young, they're enthusiastic, but they met a team today that is on a mission. There's no doubt about that. Their 10th win in a row, and entitled to be premiership favourites. The premiership is up for grabs. West Coast are no longer the invincible team that we all thought they may have been. And this Geelong team, if ever there was an opportunity to take a premiership, to earn a premiership, it's the Cats. I don't think there's a weakness in their side. Their back line is just superb. Midfield strong. Forward line, well, you've got Mooney up there, you've got Chapman, you've got Ablett, you've got Hawkins, and you've put in players like Varco and Stokes, who are inexperienced, but they're quick and they lock the ball in. And it's just a very nice package that they've got. That man there was just sensational. Yep. He set the tone in the first half, Hutto.
As good as anyone. 85,000 people have witnessed Geelong's win, 11-14-80 over Collingwood, 9-10-64. A big Saturday afternoon at the G.